Brought to you by Sasquatch Afterbirth.
What the hell is even that?
What's good? Welcome back. It's been a while, but I'm finally going to do the second installment of Phil's Finest Moments, which is exactly what it sounds like, Phil's Finest Moments, except for it's basically just shit I want to watch again. So today we have the day Stuttering Craig exposed himself. And they're going to watch Snort Hogan here. Big up Snort Hogan.
Well, let me tell you something,
This is longer
brother.
than I thought. An hour and 34 minutes.
Snort, Hogan. Drip.
Get ready.
Snort. I got the drip. Go.
Good.
Right.
Cool. All right, so I think we're good. We're full screen.
Full
Just
screen.
like, it feels like yesterday, Phil.
Yeah. Don't poke
Which
the bear,
yesterday?
Craig.
You know, we were hanging out like 15,
Oh,
16
no.
years ago at MagFest, or yesterday when I was on your
We
podcast.
were friends,
I mean,
Craig.
We actually have a history.
You
A lot
betrayed
of
me.
people don't know the whole history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's hear it. Tell us the history.
Guess, but at the same, like, I got to be honest, 15, 16 years, I don't remember
I know.
much of that, right?
Right.
So if you say we were hanging out, then we hung out. So, I mean, we probably played a few games together, I would imagine, over the years, yeah?
Right. Yeah. And you know, I actually, if you remember, I was a guest at Screw Attack Gaming Convention in 2012,
It starts
2013. I
slow.
was actually a featured guest. And
At least
I
we
even was
skipped
one of
all the,
finalists at the Iron
At least we skipped the technical difficulties.
Man of Gaming
Guess something must have been 2 hours with that.
competition you had.
The Iron Man of Gaming, yes.
I wonder how
That
much of it
was,
Craig's actually going to
so
be
far
here.
ahead of its time.
'Cause I don't
Also,
remember if he talked a bunch of shit about Craig after. Well, you know he talked a bunch of shit about Craig after he left, but I don't remember how much of it's actually relevant.
Still being 20 years too late.
And how much of it Snort Hogan included here.
People are
yeah.
saying your volume's still a little low. Is there any way you could boost it any more?
Yeah, sure. Let me see what I can do on my end. Let's see. Do.
And
I
Craig
don't
doesn't
use
know
Discord
shit
very
about
often, so
tech.
let me kind of go into.
He's
my
not a
settings
master
here,
like
check it
Phil.
out. Output volume. Let's
Do,
see.
do, do.
How about this?
Let's
Is
go.
that better? Am I volume? Did I boost me at all?
It sounds about
No.
the same, I think.
Okay, let me
Huh.
change this.
Why
up.
don't you
Here we
do
go. It's this
something,
little-
Phil?
Uh-oh. Now you're muted.
I don't even. I'm still muted.
Now you're unmuted.
Maybe we didn't
Well,
skip the
I think
technical
this is what's gonna have to
difficulties.
do right here.
All
Hey,
right.
look at there's a picture of me in your background. Look at that.
Of course. I've
Wow.
upgraded, sir. Look at my setup now.
Yeah, listen. I'll
There's
tell
the
you
poker
what,
chip.
what an upgrade.
He said in a message.
Well, thank you. All right.
Yes.
So
I have
so let's
friends
get
now,
started,
Craig.
because I want to respect your time. I know that you might have stuff going on today.
Oh, imagine that. Phil respecting somebody's fucking time. You already know he's fucking lying.
And just to forewarn everyone, and just to preface the whole conversation we're about to have, Stuttering Craig is on here today, and thank you for your time, Craig, for being on my Level 1 podcast. To have a conversation with me about last year, what happened with the events leading up to, including, and after my appearance on the Side Scrollers podcast, because there's been a lot of stuff said.
Did
all
he
right,
put that
my
on
side
there?
particularly for sure, and a lot of
I've
heated
confessed
stuff I've
everything
said.
about
Craig
WWE
has
Champions
responded
to
on
get the
his
story
content,
here.
and we
I'm
never
sorry
really
for
sat
the years
down
of
and have a
lying and
conversation
understand
about
if
it
you think less of
publicly.
me.
And I feel like this is the best way to do it, is to have a forum where we're just going to be cordial with each other. We're going to talk about it, hash it out, figure out
I guess he
exactly
did
what
put it on
happened,
there. I don't
figure out how to move forward from here. This is not
Oh, no, that's
an attack
raw
session
Phil,
on
ain't
Craig.
it?
I've already said this right before Craig showed up, so I'm going to say it again because now we're actually have him on the show. This is not, oh, I don't like Craig. Let's
Yeah, this
all
is
in the chat
before
rally
kick.
against him and insult
No
him.
kick
And stuff.
chat.
This is not, let's all take pot shots on Craig. There is no surprise guests that are going to show up. There is no shocking gotcha questions here.
Why
it's
not?
literally not about
Who would
anything
show
about
up?
Craig's background or nothing. This is about just our interaction
That's a shot because Keemstar showed up. Like, who would fucking he have show up?
last year. That's the
Who does
point. And I
DSP
want-
have
I
to
want you
show
know
up
that
to
up
make fun of
front,
Craig?
Because I know you had said that, of course, my detractors
I
have
don't
to
know.
interject themselves into every piece of
I don't know
anything
the
I'm
Craig
involved
lore
in,
to know
and they've been
what that was
contacting
about.
Craig, saying, "Oh, he's gonna get you. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that." That's not gonna happen. All right.
Well,
But now,
and
go ahead.
that's great. I was gonna say, and to be fair, I mean, I have invited you. I
This was already after the King Snake plan was put into effect. This is during it.
tried to do this probably 3 or 4 times since the end of that show, to kind of have this exact conversation. So I am glad we're actually getting around to.
You're cutting
like I
out,
said,
Craig.
I said
You
multiple times,
unprofessional
I don't care if
asshole.
it's on our show or if it's on your show. I don't care. I think this is great. I'm glad we're able to.
All right, good. Now, that being said, I'd like to introduce Handsome Tom and Perfect Liz to the show. No, I'm just kidding. That's
Okay.
not happening.
Listen,
Those
honestly,
must be
I
the
would
people.
love that. I would honestly love it. Great.
Haha.
Okay, so I think what we should do to start the conversation is give a little bit of background about Craig, because a lot of people, on my show may not know, but Craig's been in this space for a very, very long time. Craig, in my opinion, was one of the innovators of making video game content on the internet.
This is where he
mid-
sucks up to
2000s, right?
Craig.
You were making
Kisses Craig's ass, thinks Craig's gonna kiss his ass back.
big view content on your Screw Attack website. And this was before the era of like YouTube being prominent and everything. Like you were there in the forefront, covering video games, doing countdowns, news stories, going to conventions, doing all kinds of
Get
stuff.
to the point.
And you've always been a prominent person in that space. It's not like you've come out of nowhere now with this side scroller show in the last year. You actually have a history, a big established history of
Yeah.
making very prominent content.
We know, Craig.
That's how I knew Craig. It's
Oh,
because I used to
man.
actually
He's so
watch
boring.
the side scroller show way back in the day in the mid 2000s. And I was a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd who was associated with Screw Attack at the time. So that's kind of how I got turned on to their content and started watching. Over
right.
the years, I did have association with Craig and Screw Attack. For example, I went to, which I know Craig says he doesn't remember. I don't blame him.
Nobody
Way
cares,
before I was
Phil.
even a YouTuber, I went to MagFest, this gaming convention, and we hung out like the whole time. Like I was with these guys and we were playing Street Fighter. We played
Craig's
Call of Duty
thirsty.
together at the time. There was a Call of Duty competition, and we even judged a rock band competition together. I don't even know if you remember
Did
that.
we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We were
you don't
both
remember,
judges
Phil.
on the panel judging people doing rock band and stuff. It was fun.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so that was like our first personal interaction. And then fast forward.
Remember
to years
that time?
later,
Oh no, you don't
I was a
remember?
YouTuber. I was a big YouTuber in the gaming space. I was
Pathetic.
not top, but I was bringing in 10 million views a month on my DSP gaming
I
channel.
was bringing in 10
And
million
I wanted
views.
to go to conventions and stuff, and I had contacted you when you said you were reviving the Screw Attack Gaming Convention. You were bringing it out of retirement, and I said,
That's
I would
something
love
Phil
to be there
does.
as
He
a guest,
contacts
and you
people to
had me as
ask
a
them to
guest.
be on their
And let
show.
me tell you, Craig, you were the most gracious dude.
How
Like, I
embarrassing.
knew that you didn't really remember me from MagFest at the time. You
I
were,
could
like, the
never,
most nice
never
guy to me.
fucking
You were
invite
there,
myself to
and,
anything ever.
I had a table, a vendor booth.
Doesn't
and there was a
matter
little
how fucking
misunderstanding
bad
about
I
a
wanted to
vendor
be
booth
there.
with
That's
someone else,
fucking
and we hashed
pathetic,
all that out.
embarrassing.
And basically, you were so cool. And so
You were
from
so
my
cool.
history of knowing you, Craig, you were just a really nice guy. You were a good guy in the gamer space, making this content. We hung out at MagFest. You were so personable. You're such a nice guy. Meet you at Screw Attack Gaming Convention. So all the history I know of you is that you're just a really solid dude, right?
So what changed?
Yeah.
What changed?
Let's
Phil?
get to it, Phil.
When did I become so irrelevant?
Oh,
Like,
irrelevant. Not irrelevant. That's not, absolutely
You
not.
said that.
But basically, I want to preface this of how this whole thing came about, why I would even want to be on your show and stuff like that.
Yeah, why?
So I heard, what was it?
He
Was
wanted
it
to get
late 2022
interviewed.
or early 2023.
So
I heard
people would
through the
leave him
grapevine,
alone.
Hey, Phil, did you hear that Side Scrollers is coming back? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. Let me check it
The
out.
trolls
So I
would
actually
leave
did
him
my
alone.
research, and I saw that you had announced
This
that you
is
were gonna
Craig's
bring back
last
Side
chip.
Scrollers. It was going to be a fun podcast about gaming and, all this stuff. And I got interested because I'm like, wow, that's cool. I used to listen to the show when it was audio only way, way back when, and it would be cool to see
Right.
a revival. Now, I didn't know if you were going to have anyone back from the old show or anything, but I'm just curious. So
He invited
I
himself
actually
to that,
started
too?
listening to and watching your show when you revived it. And
I
just
thought
was
Craig
thinking
reached
in the
out
back
for
of
him
my
for
head,
this.
Now, I know at this point, everyone hates me, right? Like, I'm the guy you love to hate on the internet. I'm the guy everyone dumps on as a content creator. But I'm like, man, it would be fascinating if out of nowhere, out of the blue, if Stuttering Craig contacted me and asked me to be on his show.
Did he, or did you
Because that would
contact
be
him?
wild, 'cause I don't go on shows, right? I don't do interviews. I don't do anything. It would be such a cool thing for a guy from my past who, I have a good relationship
You
with. I mean, it's
contact
been
Craig and
10
say, Craig,
years
it'd
since
be
I
really
talked to the
cool
guy.
if you
Like,
invited me.
it would be pretty cool if that happened. And then lo and behold, you actually did.
Okay,
And
so
I
Craig
never
did
thought in my
contact
wildest
him.
dreams you would have. So
I
what I'd
wouldn't
like
have
to
thought
preface
either.
is now we're getting to, talking about
He
what
hadn't been
happened
paying
last year.
attention to you for
What
10
actually
years.
happened that you reached out to me like that out of the blue after 10 years of no contact?
Why did you want to talk to me, Craig?
Yeah, I think that when Side Scrollers was starting, the show's evolved a little, right? Because it's now a decade later. Right? You can't be doing the same thing that you were doing. a
Mic
decade
issues.
before and expect success.
Craig, you
Evolving
suck.
time. So,
Why do
Side
you know how to
Scrollers, the
work
old
this,
show
Craig?
Used to be
This Craig.
once a week,
Discord,
30
Craig.
but that was podcast.
This Craig.
2006, 2015, right? It was like,
Craig, your audio is breaking up a little bit, and I don't know if it's your settings or your mic. It's kind of sucks. It is breaking up a little.
We got Rich here. These guys are getting boring. We need Rich. Everybody knows he's the life of the party.
so the long and short of it was like,
Uh-oh. Yeah, Craig, we can't hear you now at all.
Uh-oh.
For some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Craig, you can't.
it showing that I'm
Try to do something about it. Fuck face.
Yeah, it's still you're breaking up. People are saying if you talk louder, you get closer to the mic. I don't know. It could be
I don't
sensitivity
know.
settings in Discord.
How would I
Should
know?
get closer to the microphone.
Actually,
Is it better?
That's actually good.
All
Hey,
then
Phil
I will
does
sit
that
right
now.
Here the entire
Seriously,
time,
that's like really good.
Phil loves that.
and we'll just hold my microphone up right here.
Maybe
Okay,
this is
so
where Phil got
when
that
Side
from.
Scrollers
I thought he
were
got
like,
it from
okay, we gotta
Rich,
bring
but
back
maybe it's a
Side Scrollers.
combination of
And
both.
the idea behind it was, I left the video game space in its entirety for better part, for about a year. I went and I worked in the firearm.
God damn it, we get
And
Craig
when
fucking
I-
history.
When
These
I left
fucking assholes.
that startup, I looked back at the video game, and I didn't really have a whole lot of intention of ever going back. But I looked back to the video game industry places, like what happened, and that was the origin story for Side. So the idea of bringing it back was really like there needs to be show needs to come back, and when we first did the show, the idea was we were going to try to mimic it after the old show, and
Times have
the
changed.
internet's
Up.
not the same as it was 10 years.
You got into
So
politics,
naturally, the
Craig.
show had to shift,
Well,
and
first you got
show
your
has
bump off
shifted,
of Phil.
and it's become more of a
You
live,
springboarded off
live,
of Phil.
it's not necessarily
and made it a
podcast. People listen to
political
the audio
show.
version of the show, but it's more about being there in
Disgusting.
the live experience.
Phil hates
right?
it. Goes
So,
against everything he
there's
stands
always
for.
3 of us, 4 of us.
But he did watch
the-
it until you guys
chat.
fucked him over.
always has a voice
Made
as
a
well.
bunch of money with his detractors.
So, I just like back at Screw Attack, I knew that just how you got to know Screw Attack through the video game nerd, or people got to know any of the number of partners that we've had throughout the years through Screw Attack. It's always good to grow.
Sasquatch
want there to be a
Afterbirth, sick
base
effing
crew,
bastard.
And we'll have guests every day, and it'll be a rotating cast.
You gonna let it go, Phil?
And that's where it came down. I did a few interviews beforehand, and the idea was, well, I'll just reach out to everybody that I used to know and see if they're interested. So you were brought up, and I had not heard or talked to you in a decade. As you said, I certainly didn't know any of the lore. And kind of really anything. I didn't know if you'd seen success on YouTube. I didn't know if you'd seen. I certainly didn't know about the
Phil's
detractor
thirsty
stuff.
too.
So that was
I'm
when
thirsty
we
too.
announced it, when I reached out to you, and you're like, sure, I was like, okay, cool. And the
You
intention was
hurt
for you
me
to come on
bad,
and just be a
Craig.
regular.
I can't wait for
regular
that.
guest on
That's
the
like
show.
one of my favorite
Right.
parts. There's so many
and
good parts that are coming up.
Keep in mind, I think we're like
It's
2
almost
weeks
hard to
into the
believe
show.
that it's so boring in
I think we launched
in the
February
beginning here.
And I think I announced you like the 1st of March, maybe like February 20th or whatever. And when I announced you, and I announced several people at on that show.
Audio cooked. Necro's
it was like-
detractor.
I remember almost
King
immediately
Goken?
getting emails. We were like, "Dude, you sure about that? Like, are you sure? Do you know what's going on?" I was like, "No, I didn't know your entire background." So then the flood of communication comes in, and some people are like, "You should not have Phil on your show. You should not."
Why
I was
not?
like my thing is communication. I like having conversations. Once again, which is why I've reached out to you in the past about like, hey, well, let's just hash this out. And so naturally, people
Gundam's
reach
here.
out. They're like, "Do you know this about Phil? Do you know this about Phil?"
I gotta get the
No,
sound
it
clip
became very
attached to this
obvious
little thing.
that there was a lot of lore to you and a lot of questions about it that people didn't.
People
either
wanted to know
were
stuff.
assuming
They
or
wanted to
didn't
know
the-
about the champions.
which is why I reached out. And I remember saying like, okay, listen, the intention was to have you on the show, but it's very obvious. Like, we just have this show, do a normal show, and not address the elephant in the room, which is, the fact that you haven't been on the show in a decade. That
This
you
took
have
place
all these questions
September
about
5th,
mobile games
2024. I
and
meant
blah,
to
blah,
say
blah,
that in
and
the
all this
beginning.
stuff. Like,
But you know how it is.
then number one, it's a missed opportunity for you, and I don't want to be the guy who just like ignores all these questions, right? Because it's interesting. So that's how it. And I was like, well, then we need to do an interview, and that's how the interview came about, right?
Right.
And so we did the interview. You gave us 5 hours, which was very nice. I think you probably would have gone longer had everyone not kind of been tired. I mean, talking for 5 hours and doing that for 5 hours was a lot.
Right.
And you told us
They're
we were
gonna
very
fix
professional.
audio
We really
soon. Don't
enjoyed you.
worry.
And,
Yes.
Forgot
I
how
remember
painful
saying
this was.
particularly you wanted to
Still,
do it again. Like,
Right.
okay, cool.
Okay, hold
and-
on, because people are making some very positive suggestions. They're
Very
saying if there's
positive
anything in your settings
suggestions.
that's like noise cancellation or stuff like that. Because what's happening is you're talking, and as soon as you stop, it's dropping the next word you say, as if noise cancellation is like kicking in on your mic. That seems to be the issue. I don't think it's actually the distance. It's
You
some
like
kind of
how
a
he
noise
pig explained
cancellation
that?
filter, or you know what I mean?
he
Like a noise
explained
gate.
what the chat
Yeah,
told
this is
him.
weird.
I don't have to do anything.
Good.
The things you're begging, I can ask for
Dio
contributions
says
whenever I
there
want
is a
on my
settings
own
gear
stream,
icon
and
in
I
the
can
lower left
conduct
of
myself
Discord.
however I
You
want,
click
and
on
you'll
that,
like
there will
it.
be a voice and video tab or menu, and then there's an input sensitivity all on the left, and that would fix it.
So if I
There's
unclick
your
that, will
Discord
that
tip
be
for the
better?
day, folks.
Let's see.
Is that better now?
That sounds great, actually. I think we did it.
Okay.
Thank
You
goodness.
said that
That
last time.
that was apparently the culprit here.
All
Input
right.
sensitivity.
We've done it.
F you, Discord.
Whoa.
Okay, so that leads us to
Save
did the
that
interview,
energy for
and,
Phil.
Well,
and
actually, let me jump in
Uh-oh.
because I do want to talk a little bit about my perspective going into this interview and the conversations we had.
He's gotta muddy the
Because we want
waters.
to be transparent about this, and I want to hear your perspective. And I want it to be my
Transparent.
perspective, because let's be honest, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. That's what happens in all these situations. Okay, so from my perspective, you contact me out of the blue and you say, I want you to be a guest on the show. And I'm thinking in my head, I've been watching the show, and the show's been pretty entertaining. These guests get to
Bro,
kind
you
of
said it
showcase
sucked.
their expertise.
You said
from where
Craig
they
was a
come from.
hack.
They talk about the topics you're talking about, so it makes them look personable. It makes them look good. And then they get to kind of talk about their brand or whatever they're working on. And for me, I actually was just launching a new channel called DSP React. And the idea was that I was going to try to use this appearance as a way to kind of launch this channel. I had all these ideas for things for the channel and everything, and this is a way to get it out to a new audience. Maybe you're not interested in seeing me play games, but maybe you want to see some kind of reacts out there,
Maybe not.
right? So originally I was just supposed to be the guest, and then you said, well, there's an
It means he
elephant
was
in the room.
floundering.
All these people want me to
Floundering.
interview. And I was like, well, I knew this was coming because you might not realize this, but the year before, a lot of other prominent YouTubers have been talking about me in a very negative light. Okay, one of them was
Uh-oh.
actually Moist Critical,
Charlie.
and he had called me out.
Shit, I don't have
for
a
my
Charlie
grifting, that I was
thing.
e-begging too much, and how could I do this to my viewers and stuff like that. And when he
He's talking about scoring. As we all know, he does that shit every day. All day, every day now is fucking scoring.
done that, I was like, I agree with him, because now when I look back at how I was
Back then, he felt bad about it.
talking on a particular
But he was doing it right here, too. He started doing it as soon as the King arc started. PPP convinced him to demand money.
stream, like, I agree with this guy. Like, I'm being
Nasty
being
with
a
him.
miserable wretch. I'm being an ungrateful jerk. I said, but the thing is, if that's the case, right, why don't you ever interview me? Like, if everyone has a problem with me and the way I conduct myself or whatever, I would just like to be interviewed and treated like a person rather than yelled at across the internet from their people's high perches. It's kind of like punching down, right? I'm just a little rinky-dink
Just a
guy.
little
and I got
rinky-dink
these
guy.
giant YouTubers talking about me in a negative way. And I had announced the year before I want to do an interview.
Guess
Well,
what?
of
They
course,
didn't want to
who
talk to
contacts
him.
me, who wants to do an interview? All my detractors, all these assholes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? After thinking about it, I
He don't want to do interviews with people who know shit about him.
don't want to do an interview because they're just going to waste my time. It's just going to be really unfair treatment. So then when you reached out to me and now all of a sudden you're saying, oh, this is going to be an interview, I'm thinking, dude, I know Craig. Craig is a straight guy, he's a straight
Yeah.
shooter. He's not going to do anything to screw me during this interview. He's
I should
gonna
be
hit
able
me
to
with
get
hard
Craig to
questions, and I
softball
want
me.
him to hit me with hard questions. I think I even had told you that previously when we were talking. I said, you can ask me whatever the heck you want. You might not like the
you
answers.
said you said you wanted it to be the definitive.
You might not like the
DSP
answers.
interview,
What's
right?
that mean?
And
So-
to be and just to
What
be
does that
clear,
mean?
Did
I'm confused now.
Did I do anything during that interview that was dishonorable, or did I
no.
hit you with anything that because like I said, you finished that interview and you thought it was very fair.
Yeah, he's gonna use pussy voice here. No.
So
Yeah.
did
I would say there were a few times that things were suspect, but at the same time, it was never outright like, oh, disrespectful gotcha moment or something like that. The one thing everyone's going to say is when Keemstar showed up, right? Now, I don't know how that came
I
up.
have
You know
my
what?
mic
Let's
off.
clear the air about that right now.
Sure.
How on earth did Keemstar end up in my interview?
Bro,
'Cause
come
obviously
on.
that was a shock. And if you remember how it happened, it was really questionable
He got
circumstances.
fucking DDoS
Someone
attacked.
DDoS'd me off the internet.
DDoS attacked, yeah.
So I couldn't even continue the interview.
Right when the going was getting tough too. He was getting pressed about champions when that happened.
As I got DDoS attacked, Keemstar showed up on the show, and everyone's like, "What the heck is this?" Like, I'm sure this is a coincidence, right? So what actually happened?
Wasn't a coincidence. You were talking shit about Keem, so he fucking showed up and said he'd like to come on the show. Fucking you had a fake DDoS attack.
Yeah, well,
So they brought him on the show.
if
Then when you came back, they asked you if you had a problem with it. You said no. And now you got a fucking problem with it a year later.
and once again, it's been 18
You're a bitch.
months, so I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to look through my DMs right now to make sure I'm saying this correctly. But from what I recall,
Oh, Craig got the
he
receipts.
had, like most people at the time, had reached out via DM, and let me see. I don't like to divulge private conversations, but let me go back as best I possibly can to see. Let's see. We did that on what?
FYI, because I don't know if you know this, Craig. I had Keem on the show last week, and we hashed everything out. We're good.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
we're good.
Excellent.
There's no issue. There's no bad
We're
blood between
good.
me and him. So it's not like, oh, you're going to divulge something that he's going to be pissed about. Nah, we even talked about the appearance and everything, why he was on the show. So it's all good. I want to hear from your perspective how it came about.
Yeah, how'd that come about?
So I think somebody had mentioned the idea of having him on, and I was like, well, if you're watching, then DM me. So he DM'd me, and the idea was like, look, you said beforehand you didn't want to talk with him, right? And I was like, fine, that's
Right.
fine. Now,
But I see all
you said
kinds
your
of
internet
shit.
went out,
I don't
right?
stand
So
by
that was
any
like,
of it.
Okay, well, let's take this opportunity,
Craig.
to, we got Phil here. Let's take this opportunity to bring Keem in, right? Because he had DM'd me, and he was like, let's talk. And if you recall, during that interview, like, I was attempting to honor your word there. You said you didn't want to talk to Keem. So I went out of my way to be like, listen, we'll only have Keem on if you're okay with it. And the intention, and I think I've said this at the time, was to build a bridge, right? Was
Yeah.
to build and to think about this, you probably wouldn't have had Keem on last week had we not done that on Side Scrollers, had it not opened up the communication
He's gonna
between the
disagree,
two,
ain't he?
right? Maybe,
I disagree.
don't know.
I would have
Yeah,
had
he
him on
disagrees.
regardless. I don't think that him being
He
on the
would've.
interview had anything to do with him being on this show last week.
Craig, come
That's
on.
fair.
Craig,
Totally
come
fair.
on.
But like I said, I'm just
Asshole.
going off assumptions. I don't know.
That's fine. I want to hear your perspective. So
He's
this
so
is good.
badass
This is
after
good.
the fact every
So the
single
idea
time.
was to build a bridge, right? And whether it worked
I'm
or not,
pretty
that's
sure the
fine.
DMs
So we had
fucking,
John and
It was the casino's idea to have him talk with Keem, if I do remember correctly.
when your internet came back, it was like, okay, I believe, and like I said, been 18 months. I believe we pulled Keem back, brought you back on, and said, hey, we have Keem here. Are you okay with this? Before Keem came back on, right? And the way I like to think of it is probably
He
like,
said yes, but he didn't mean it.
It's
He only said
halftime
yes
of a
'cause he's a
basketball
pussy,
game,
Craig.
right? So you go down to the sideline reporter to talk to the coach, right, or something along those lines, and you get there, and like Keem being the color
making
commentator at the
faces.
time to provide, hey, how do you think this is going, type of thing, that's the best analogy that I can give, like off the cuff. But yeah, it wasn't meant to be malicious by any means, and nothing that we've ever done has meant to be malicious towards you.
gonna
And I've
nod?
stated that continuously in my communication.
He's
with
gotta
you.
wait
It's
for his
never
turn to
been
talk. I'll
meant
give him that.
to tear you down or make as
Yeah,
your words,
right,
make
Craig.
money off your
You hurt me
misery.
bad,
That's never
Craig.
been an intention at all. So yeah,
Okay. So I understand what you're saying. I get it.
Do you?
But you have to understand that from an outsider's perspective, okay? Even what you just said, a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know that I told you beforehand that I didn't want to talk to Keem on this interview. So you've been told ahead of time.
Oh, fuck,
I
Craig.
don't want interaction.
Craig,
with
this is
man.
looking really bad for
Literally,
you.
one of my trolls who works at Comcast DDoS's me. I'm
No, that was a different time. He's conflating two different scenarios.
serious. This is proven.
Two different incidents. He's combining to try to look better, I guess. I don't know. I can't believe Craig let that one
And it
slide.
happened. There's actually evidence now, and the person's been fired. So
Okay.
the troll who works at my ISP DDoS's me to kick me off my own interview. And you bring specifically the guy I told you I don't want any involvement in this interview onto the interview stream. So I think you can understand how that looks, right?
How's it look?
so while you're gone, I'm actually looking at our DMs
Felt
with-
it.
with
He
them
fucking
right now.
felt it, Craig.
He said, let me pop on,
Damn,
so when
Craig.
he comes back, he can respond, right? Because I believe, and once again, 18 months, I believe we were talking about Keemstar beforehand, right? So he was broached, the conversation about him was brought up, right? So
Right.
I'm of the mindset that if I would rather talk with somebody than about somebody, right? And I've said that many, many times on our show, and I say that right now, which is why, once again, I'd much rather talk with you
See, why is Phil gonna nod if he's just gonna fucking say he disagrees in 2 seconds?
than about you. So I think
Weird.
that was the situation. He said, "Let me pop in."
I
so
hear
when
what you're
he comes
saying,
back, he
but
can
no,
respond,
you're a fucking
right?
idiot, Craig.
And the idea
You're
that
wrong.
you said something about Keem. Keem then responded.
He came in.
You
with
come
the,
back.
Came in with the
and
felt.
You can then respond to what Keem said while still keeping
Had a
you
fistful
separate,
of felt.
right?
He's gonna hit
But
Craig with it.
The opportunity.
No
was there,
matter
like, hey,
how,
well, look,
no matter what
once
Craig
again,
said. Unless Craig
Keem, you
kissed
can
his
talk about
fucking
DSP,
ass, he
DSP,
was
you can talk
getting it
about
today.
Keem. Why don't you just talk to each other right now and hash all this shit out, and everyone's better for it, right? So, you know, if
And
if
you
saw
said
it as,
you
like I said,
agreed. You agreed to this at the time, Phil.
My goal ultimately wasn't to, you know, create any distrust or anything. It was more meant to be a positive experience, and hopefully it was.
Meaningful and positive.
Okay, so from my perspective, all right, you're absolutely right. So I'm getting
Is he?
DDoS attacked. I come back,
Oh,
and you asked
so you just went right back to where you were.
me, "Hey, Keem's on the show already. Is it
Oh,
okay?
it's so
Can we have him
annoying.
on?" You absolutely did that. I can confirm 100%. I mean, it's already recorded, but yes, you did that, and that's very respectful of you that you did.
Well, you shouldn't have done that to begin with, right?
Did that, and I
That's
said
where he's
yes.
going, pretty sure.
In my mind, I'm already desperately trying to get back on the show because if it looks like I cut out of the show, everyone on the internet is going to say I'm a coward. I ran from the tough questions. So I'm doing everything I can to get back as soon as I can. The moment I get back, he's there. And it's like, I've already been grilled.
He wasn't there. They asked you if he could come there.
And this is probably, you know, a very stressful thing going on. I'm sure you could figure out for me. And then to now be presented with the man who I told you specifically I didn't want to talk to on the show.
The man.
Yeah,
He's a man. Phil ain't a man, so men scare him.
smacked me in the face. And then on top of that, you say, well, is it okay? Now, what if I say no?
Keem was gonna
Again,
make him his
now
girlfriend.
that makes me look bad. I look like I'm the guy who doesn't want to play ball, who isn't willing to talk, who's just an obstinate jerk, who just wants to, you know, have it his way. So, of course, I'm going to say yes. Now, in reality,
What?
did anything come out of that conversation with Keem? No. What happened was we went back and forth for like 5 minutes. Nothing came of it. And then he plugged his Happy Punch boxing. Okay.
Oh, that's all it was, yeah. Chill.
Which is really the reason why he was on the show. All right. That's why he wanted to be on your show, to plug his upcoming content. All right. He did want to talk to
Oh,
me,
what the
for
fuck
sure.
do you
That's
care
true.
about? Oh,
But
that's what it was, because it was supposed to be Phil's big day. Keem came in and started talking about his fucking boxing show.
he definitely was on the show to plug
Oh, that chapped his little ass.
his content. And that's literally what you allowed him to do, is do an advertisement. Okay.
So, okay, real quick, and once again, it's been 18 months, it's been a year and a half. Maybe my things are a little fuzzy, right? I'm looking through my email, and I actually don't see any reference to Keemstar at all in that. So maybe it was mentioned beforehand. I don't know. Maybe I knew there was some sort of beef between you guys or something.
Yeah, we did. We had beef on the internet, and I believe
Right.
at one point, I don't know if specifically it was like Keemstar, but I know you had said, you know, is there anyone? I said I just want it to be us, right? I don't want to have guests coming on and stuff.
Right,
I want it to
right,
be
right.
our conversation, right? That's what it was supposed to be. So,
Okay, so-
having this guy is shocking that he's in there. Why is he on this interview, right?
Okay.
He didn't
I
have
get
to
it,
be,
right,
Phil.
I
You
get it.
said he
So,
could come
with
on.
with that said, we did finish up, and you were totally pleased with things, regardless of if Keem appeared or not. You were pleased as punch, said you want to do a second time. You know, I said I'd like to do a second time.
Yeah, why are you wasting
And
time complaining
to be
about
clear,
something that
everything
you don't
was
have a
great.
fucking problem
And
with, Phil?
until the
Good
next
point,
day,
Craig.
Right?
That's right.
Now,
Now, to preface
There's a
this,
point, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
we had actually, in our discussions about this interview, the discussion was we were going to do this giant, hard-hitting, harsh interview. And then once we got through it, I can't remember the exact wording you used, but basically it was kind of like, let's get through the tough thing, and then let's do the fun thing, right? First,
Right.
let's do the interview, then let's have you on as the guest as you were intended to be originally, right? That was the whole
Sure.
intention of this thing.
Yep.
So you're absolutely right. After the interview, I jumped on my own personal stream, and I expressed to my audience, listen, I knew it was going to be a rough interview. I knew he was going to ask questions that I wasn't going to be able to provide
That
evidence
was the
of my
point of
side
it,
or
wasn't it?
whatever. And that's fine. I just wanted to have a place where people can see all of my answers, so they'll stop bugging me on my streams about this stuff, because it really had nothing to do with my content. You know, you're talking about mobile games and expenses and shit. It has nothing to do with the broadcasting I'm doing every day of gameplay and stuff like that. I just wanted it to be somewhere else. So I actually was happy that we had covered all of that. All right. So by the end of that day, 100%, I was okay with how everything had gone down. Even the shocking surprise guest and all that came, you know,
He was
whatever.
at home trying to
So
backdoor his
now, I
fucking
would like to hear your
down from the
methodology about
rafters
what happened the next
account
day on your stream, because what you had
on his
publicly
old
said, you can correct
fucking
me if I'm wrong.
iPad.
You had publicly said on Friday, the day after,
Getting ready
you
to
were
show
gonna do a
evidence.
decompression day where you guys were just
You
going to
took
sit around
that
playing
away from
Mario
him.
Kart, shooting the shit, and having a fun day. That was the original intention after this crazy interview, but that is definitely
He's
not
gonna
what
do
happened.
DSP asset.
Yeah, so you're right. I said we're going to do a decompression stream, and the intention was, you know, and remember, once again, we're a month into the show, and at the time, we actually did test out like Friday gameplay streams, right? We were trying to test those things out. Now, some more context. For
Nobody
you.
wanted that shit.
The last time the audience saw Adam is the last time I saw Adam. So Adam left. He went to go have some dinner. So the first time that people saw Adam the next day was when I saw Adam the next day. Right, maybe 60 seconds before that we started the show.
Let's
shouldn't have
clarify,
done
Adam
this.
is one of
You
the-
shouldn't
your
have done
co-hosts,
this.
so people might not know. He's one
I
of your
don't know what
co-hosts
you
on
should have
the
done,
Side
but you
Scroll
should
Yeah,
have.
he was.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was. He's
yeah.
doing his own thing now, which is great. And he just had a kid.
Chatham,
and,
they
super,
call him.
Super stoked for him.
'Cause he felt that you're
and
stupid
he's
ass.
welcome to come on the show anytime.
yeah,
By the
thumbs
way,
up.
I do think that you and Adam should hash it out as well, right? Okay, so with that said,
What was that?
So the next
No?
day,
You don't
we
wanna
come in
hash it out with
and, we do
Chatham?
a decompression, and really just for the first time, I think that you and Adam should be stoked for him. And he's welcome to come on the show anytime, which by the way, I do think that you and Adam should hash it out as well, right? Okay, so with that said,
Looks
so the
like he
next
wants
day,
to talk to
we
Adam, don't
come in
it?
And we do a decompression,
Huh.
and really just for the first time have an opportunity to talk about what's happened. Usually this would happen like
You should just play Mario
you know,
Kart, Craig.
You left and you went on and did your own decompression stream, right? And so that was our first opportunity to do our decompression stream. Now, Adam thought you were full of shit, right? And
He
said
was
so
right.
in so many words, right? And when, you know, I think that's the thing about the interview, which was really unique, was, you know, I had done a lot of research.
Oh
on
yeah,
you,
unique's a word for it.
and everything leading up to, based off of, you know, what right or not, what people were saying about you and questions about you.
Well, this is a good point to break off before we get to your Friday stream. So what exact research did you do? Like, who did you talk to? What information were you gathering
here we
upon
go. This part.
when you went into this interview? Because I think people want to hear your perspective of what your notions were me going
Who
into
are
this
people?
thing and how it turned out.
Well, I mean, I did talk to pretty much anybody and everybody that I could talk to about you. I mean, I can let me see if I can find my Google Docs.
Talk
about
to
it. I can
ALT.
tell you exactly what my
Talk to
research was.
itsagundam. Talk
But yeah,
to
I went in
Duty.
and made that. But I do want to finish my point here. And
Okay,
that
go ahead. Yep.
the idea that I had a somewhat of a background. I'd done a couple weeks of research on it, like way more research than you possibly should do for an interview, right? But my thought was, and I said this before, and I'll say this again, I wanted to treat you with respect. I wanted to treat me with respect, and I wanted to treat the audience with respect, right? And I had a pretty good idea of what the audience was going to look like, right? for this. Here we go. I got this
Detractors.
doc right here. Potential DSP questions, right? And
Okay.
this is, you know, it's all various things that we touched on, right?
Right.
Now, where did this come from? Was this like you asked people what questions you would want me to ask DSP and you made a compilation? Is that what this document is?
No, I think a lot of this was just through various DMs and communication, things that people had asked and wanted to know about you. Obviously, the WB Champions thing, the you know, various clips that, you know, broader questions. You know, how do you think? Let's see. I'll just go down the list. I've been told not to interview you. Why do you think that is? When you stream, who is streaming, Phil or DSP?
Both.
What have you done to change perception from a production standpoint? Right. So,
Right.
like I said, there's a
Oh,
list
he
of
didn't
these
do that.
things.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he bought
and
a
then there's like
Devoom,
some of my
and
notes in here, right, where we talk about
the pads
you know,
are there.
I remember one point in particular we were talking about your, you know, you've been doing this forever, but you don't have a business
soundproofing
plan or a
phone.
financial plan. People were really hung up about your taxes, so
Yeah, pick the
wanted to
mustache.
Touch about that. You know, how you spend your money, obviously with WDB Champions, which
Right.
we can talk about that in a little bit.
So
No,
Craig,
he already talked
you have
about
to
that.
understand literally every question you just asked. I mean, just think about it. Every question you just asked is basically like personal stuff, and it's stuff
Is it?
that my detractors would want to know. Okay.
You,
So
you've
now I'm
talked
just telling
about
you from
every
an
single
outside-
one of
you
those
know
things
from your
on stream.
perspective,
That's how the
from an
detractors
outsider's
know about him,
perspective,
fuckface.
Or even my perspective, it sounds to me like what you did for 2 weeks is you just said, "Hey, everyone who doesn't like Phil, contact me and talk to me."
Oh,
I mean,
T-pose.
you even had a clip from "It's a Gundam," one
Nah,
of the
it's a
most infamous
Gundam.
people who rags on me all the time as an audio question at the end of the
He's
interview.
the clown prince
And
of detractors.
what I would like to ask you right now, and I hope that you'll be honest with me.
Sure, I will.
In your efforts to gather information about me for this interview, did you talk to anyone who actually likes me?
Nobody likes you, Phil.
Well, I think I was open to talking to anybody who would, but nobody reached out that said they really liked you. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean,
that hurts.
I said I
Oh
was
no,
doing
there's a good
interview.
reason for it, and I'll explain it in a second.
Oh, it's the
You know,
detractors.
so
the
with that
fucking
said, like,
detractors.
you know, when you say you're going to do an interview with somebody and you say, "Hey, I'm open to talking to all people," if there are people who go out of their way to like you, they didn't reach out to me, right?
Okay.
So,
Right.
So, you know, your theory of like I only collected things from detractors at the time, you know what? It may be right, you know, but
is
once
right,
again,
Craig.
it wasn't malicious. These
It
are
is.
all things that people were
You heard him
curious
bad.
about. And you have to admit, Phil, when you're essentially radio silent for a decade and people don't go in and they don't have an opportunity to interview you, it's important to flush those pipes out and just get it all out there, right? It goes back to the elephant in the room. Right, when you have
Why does he always sit there and
this
nod and
giant
shit?
elephant that everyone's staring at, if you don't have an opportunity to talk
Like,
about
if you don't
those
like
things,
what
whether
somebody's
they're
saying, why
personal
don't you
or
just
not,
sit there and nod
right?
and keep going?
They should be addressed because that is what the DSP lore is all about.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, if you did have a, you know, to use the opposite side of this, the detractor versus the champions for DSP,
The
not a single
WWE
champion reached
champions.
out and was like, hey, did you know this? Did you know that Phil?
I wonder why
donates
he
to
said the
charity? Whatever,
champions.
right? And had they,
That's a
then
strange word to
we
use
would've.
there, huh?
Now, with that said, you know, leading up to this, you also knew what this was going to look like because you prefaced me. I mean, I have our emails pulled up, and you gave me, like sent me ammo saying, "Hey, this is what I think."
He
they're
didn't
going
like
to
how it
ask."
went. What
and
the
I feel
fuck?
like I've addressed a lot of these things. You sent me videos of you addressing these things, but as you said, you wanted this to be the definitive DSP interview, right?
Right.
So if you want it to be the
Oh, it
definitive
was.
DSP interview, then naturally I should be listening to everybody.
It's the
who has
stupidest thing he did
criticisms
for
of
at
you.
least
and
a
if there
year.
is this lore that's attached to it, then I wouldn't be doing my job as the interviewer.
Steve Cambion might be
to do
better,
research,
actually.
good and bad, about
Right.
the interviewee. Otherwise, it's a
Cambion felt it him
focus.
hard.
Okay, and fair enough, and I accept that answer. But now I'm going to give you my response.
Why do you take the
okay?
pegs
Sure.
down?
You probably don't
What was
know
the other
this,
thing he said
all
to him,
right?
too?
The reason that my fans don't reach
If
out
this
and
stuff
get
is
involved in this
true,
kind of
you're
stuff
a real
is because my
scumbag.
detractors, okay, those people who you were talking
I'm impressed. That's the first time you've actually insulted me.
to get questions to ask me systematically
Oh,
hunt
no.
down,
Oh, no.
harass,
Not the
dox,
champions.
and do horrible things to anyone who publicly supports me.
But they're the
Okay?
champions.
And I'm not just
They should
talking
be able
like,
to handle
oh,
it.
someone was in the chat and said I like Phil. I mean, they'll try to hunt these people down, find their social media, find where they live, find where they work, call them, harass them, call them pedophiles, do horrible
Just the
things. to them.
pedophiles.
There's been supporters documented who
Is this
give me a
before or after
$100
Derek's
tip,
gone?
and then they get hacked and stuff. It's really, really messed up. I mean, case in point, Craig, do you not remember? Maybe you don't remember this. It was like a week or two
That's
before
after somebody
the
in
interview.
chat. But
They
Derek
tried to
was a
dox you.
pedo.
You remember that, right? And I told you about it. I said, just so you know, they gave your an address on the internet, and I don't think it's real. And you know, they did it to you. So if they're doing it to you, obviously
Well,
they're not going
Craig's
to.
on the
My
internet,
fans
so.
who like me are not going to speak up in a public venue like that and be like, "Oh yeah, now I want to talk about Phil." No, they'll watch me. They'll silently support me as they have done for a very long time. But they're not going to put themselves into the line of fire of these already deranged people. Okay?
Okay.
And you maybe didn't know that. So
No,
I gotta
maybe.
give you the benefit of the doubt here that I gotta trust you, say that you were doing what you thought was fair. But a lot of people were going into that interview thinking, okay, he's gonna ask tough questions. But at the same time, maybe we'll talk a little bit about the positivity about Phil's 16-year history on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what we
The
want
good
to hear.
old days, or even what's good about what he does today.
Tell us
he's
about how you were a
improved, stuff
heel
like
in the
that. Like,
FGC.
there was none of that. It was literally
tell
just
us
like,
about Taco
negative,
Chan.
Negative.
Ooh, that's
now,
another
I
one
told
we
you I was
gotta
okay
watch.
with that. All right.
When Ashton confronted him on the Incel Manifesto. That's a fine moment for Phil.
But from, again, outsider, they're looking at the situation like Craig just sat around for 2 weeks claiming he did all this research, and all he literally did was talk to the people who hate Phil the most, compiled it into a ball of negativity, and threw it at him. And that's the perception of that interview at this point from those who aren't my detractors, basically. In fact, just to give you another example, Mike
The
Plum,
4 people
who
in
I
his
was
chat.
planning on possibly doing a documentary with this year, said to me directly, you realize that Side Scrollers interview was just for your detractors, right? Like, no one else cares. No one else watched it and said, oh, it was literally
That's
a
why you gotta
detractor
let
interview.
Mike do one.
And it's all it'll ever be. That's why you should do positive content like a documentary, because
Yeah,
you need to
it'd be
have
positive.
parts of your truthful nature, your personable.
Then
you know,
Mike went on
personality come out.
Itsagundam's
no
podcast.
one saw that in the interview because it was literally detractor question, detractor question, detractor question.
Good one,
With all
Clown.
due respect to Mike, do you not think he was just puffing up your chest to try to get you to do a documentary with him?
Of course
Absolutely.
he was. I mean, let's be honest. Of course he wanted to do a documentary with me, but
Right.
I mean, from all this nonsense, there's always a little moment of truth, right? And it rings true.
not the
That
nugget
interview,
of
if you watch
truth.
it back, you don't get to learn anything about me besides all the things people don't like about me.
We learned a lot
And
about you, Phil.
That sucks because that's there forever. That's
What else did he think we were gonna learn?
video that launched you guys into prominence for a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think you can agree. Can we
Oh,
agree?
you like that one, Craig. Look at Craig. Yeah, he likes that. Yeah. Craig, you know you had to step on him to get ahead.
There, can we just say
Yeah.
that interview did give
Yeah.
you a launching board to popularity, right? And I'm not saying that anything that came after is a result of me. I'm not. But was that not the
That is what you said.
piece of content that launched your show into
Oh, we're
prominence
getting
and
good
people
now.
wanted to hear from the side scrollers?
Like a half an hour of boredom.
I think that it raised
I think it's
awareness
good.
that Side Scrollers was back, but just to think that anybody who watched that, like I would say, we had
That's a
Phil,
bad cult, bro.
2,500 people tuned in live to watch that show,
Mhm.
right? We had 3,000 watching our show today, right?
That's right.
Of that 3,000 who watched our show today, how many of those of that 2,500 were there?
Probably
don't
zero
know.
because your show
Right.
today is a different show. It's completely
Right.
different content.
Well, it's not an interview.
So what does
It's not
that
about
mean?
Phil, and I think I recognize that, right? Now, did it raise awareness? Sure. Is it why the show's been successful? No. You know.
Oh no,
but-
I agree with you.
But
There.
is it-
Your show is taken off, and I want to say kudos and congrats to you for having a very successful show now. I mean, it's blown up.
He's
and
jealous.
that's great, but people didn't know about side scrollers
He's mad that he's not playing Mario Kart with you on Friday.
until my interview. Is that a fair statement to say?
It raised awareness, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But just like our interview with the Tetris CEO, or us talking about Concord or Dustborn or whatever,
Fuck the Tetris CEO. This is Darksydephil.
like what
4th place at Evo. 1994. No, I'm sorry. It was 2003, wasn't it? Oh.
once again, the show was changing at the. We were trying to figure out what the show was, and it took about a year before we figured out what the show was.
Yeah, you remember you were saying on the show no politics, and now it's like it's completely flipped. Like
Oh.
that's mostly what you're
I-
talking about these days.
I
You're a
disagree.
hypocrite,
I don't think
Craig.
what we talk about is politics at all. I think we talk about the culture of this stuff. Very
Well,
rarely,
fair enough. I'm okay. Not hardcore politics. I agree with you.
Not
very
hardcore.
rarely do we actually talk about
What the fuck does that mean?
Democrats or Republicans or anything like that. No, we talk about the culture associated.
Culture, I
with the
get
game,
it.
Which,
I
which
get it. He
I
gets
think,
it.
which I think from a video game perspective is way more important than
He just
whether a
wanted to
game
talk
gets
shit.
a 7 or an 8 in a score. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's limited, because at the end of the day,
Well-
you see a number of the reason why Side Scrollers is working is, and our audience is growing, is because we know that there are a bunch of, as we say in our chat, our community is called normal men. They're called normal men for a reason, because there's
they're
a bunch
normal.
of normal men who are
Good
looking
one,
around
Craig.
going like, yo, what the hell's happening? And this isn't right. This is not normal. And the thing about Side Scrollers, we do the exact same thing now that we did a decade ago. It's just in a different package, because a decade ago we were laughing at all the stupid shit that was happening in the video game space. Now there's just way more stupid shit that happens in the video game space that we can talk about it every day. You know, it's the same premise. It's just in a different package. So anyways, with that said, like I said, the show was evolving, the show was changing, and you know, we haven't done like an interview on the show in, I'd say, almost a year. You know, because the interviews were fine, and they were originally supposed to be a regular weekly part of the show. But once again, it takes a while to figure out what the show is, and now we have a good idea of what the show is, who our audience is, and we're there. Now, once again, did those interviews help raise awareness? Absolutely, but I can't. You know, I'd say it's a chapter of the side scroller story, and just as Side Scrollers is a chapter of the DSP story.
Sure. I will agree with you on that. The show today has nothing to do with me. I'm not trying to take credit for it whatsoever in that regard.
That's exactly what you did, though.
Putting it in its new own space, and it stands out. Okay? So, getting back to now, because we did get...
All right. It was 2004 that Phil placed that Evo. Just want to let you know I looked it up. I get the facts here.
Talking about the beforehand. So the interview happens. All of a sudden, all eyes
Sorry,
are
I
on
was still
you
wrong.
guys
2005.
because you did this interview with DSP. Friday is supposed to be a decompression stream with Mario Kart, but instead it turns into something else. So now let's get into this. So what actually went down on that Friday show for you?
Yeah, we went in, we talked about things, and we do what we do every day. We just talked about what's in the news. The difference was that we were the news, and the interview was the news in the sphere. And people wanted to hear our thoughts about it for the first time, and that was the first time we'd got together. So, you listen to your audience.
So you badmouth
Phil?
Phil?
The audience says, we want to hear your thoughts about what happened yesterday. You do that. And for us, it was a Friday, so naturally we're gonna talk about it.
You guys synchronized the ack laugh.
And then we're gonna give the weekend to decompress, and then we're gonna resume the show on normal on Monday. It doesn't matter if Mario Kart was played or not. The intention was still the same, was to talk about what
matters
what
to
just happened
Phil.
the day before for the first time, just like you did the day before with the decompression.
He's getting...
Now, was it what
His
you
chest is
wanted to
coming
hear?
out now.
No. But was it honest? Yes. And honestly, I think that when it comes to the reasons why we were upset was, and specifically Adam was upset, was because he smelt shit, and whenever he'd say
he's wearing cologne.
it was
and
like
you'll never know what kind either.
Circles. And
he's gonna torture you with that.
I think that there's like a lot of that stemmed from the WWE Champions thing. That's where a lot of the meat came from, right? So
And now
we asked you about that several times.
it's time to fucking suffer.
We got the runaround on it. We all knew it was the runaround, right? There were, we talked about you sharing your account, and then,
he was gonna, Craig. He had the evidence.
That was when the internet went out.
You didn't give him the
everything
chance.
associated with that. And so we
This
were
when it
upset
gets
about
good.
it, right? Because we smelt the shit. And I think that there's actually a lot of irony when it comes to this, in that just was yesterday. I get sent clips to you all the time, and leading up to this especially, where you talked about WWE champions, and you said that you spent for forever lying about it, right? So with that said, do you think that
yes, correct, I'm a liar.
To lying about this?
What's your point, Craig?
Do you think that we had a right to be upset because we felt you were lying? We knew you were lying. You admitted to lying.
Oh, what's he gonna say here?
Do you feel that we had a right to be upset the next day?
What's he gonna say? Come on.
Let me put it into these terms. Okay, when
what terms?
Guest is going to be on the show, and they're going to be interviewed, and they know there's going to be hard-hitting questions.
Oh, this fucking one again.
All is previously established. All right, we knew all this was going to happen.
Fucking whoever that fucking old lady is.
That's why I agreed to
Larry King,
because I felt like this was going to be it, the definitive interview or whatever. Okay, never in my wildest dreams did I expect that the next day after the interview you were going to do that. You didn't even tell the public you were going to do that. And now
because he wasn't planning to do it. I just fucking told you that, dickhead.
Show is you talked to my detractors almost the entire show. You were reading all of their contributions as they rolled in. I think some of them were previously from the interview the day before. I want to be fair here. I think there were leftovers
shouldn't have read them.
Shouted out the day before, and then there was a ton of
should have threw those super chats out
that day for my detractors. So you just sat there reading them, and okay, you're upset with me. You don't believe me. You smell shit. All right. But there's a difference between saying, well, we just did this big interview, we don't believe him, versus actually actively participating in memes that they have about me. Your entire cast laughed ack on the show, Craig, together. As if this was something funny to do to deride Phil. I was the guest on your show the day before for 5 hours. I was on your show and answered hard-hitting questions about me, actively between saying, well, we just did this big interview, we don't believe him, versus actually actively participating in memes that they have about me. Your entire cast laughed ack on the show, Craig, together. As if this was something funny to do to deride Phil. I was the guest on your show.
It was
the day
funny
before
though.
For
Come
5
on.
hours.
I didn't even see it, but it's just funny.
I was on your show and answered hard-hitting
It's
questions.
funny. Come
You
on.
didn't have to believe the
Hold on.
answers.
Hold on. Did you answer? Because
Uh-oh.
you
Oh, I
did.
did. Oh, indeed, I answered. You just didn't like
no,
the answers.
Phil, don't flip that on me because you didn't.
Hit
You
him
were
with it. Hit
dishonest
him.
with us, and we
That's-
smelt that.
It's
We
still an
smelt that.
answer. It doesn't matter if it's honesty or not. It's still an answer.
Then let me ask you this, Phil. Phil, don't flip that on me because smell.
Honesty or not, it's still an answer.
Then let me ask you
It
this,
is.
Phil. Will you?
Oh, man, I
will
love
you
that.
Apologize.
I
for
never,
lying to
never,
us? Because that.
ever thought I'd hear somebody say some shit like that. As long as I fucking
You
live.
didn't have to believe the
hold on.
answers.
Hold on. Did you answer?
Uh,
Because
in
you,
Oh, I
fucking
did.
incredible.
Oh, indeed, I answered. You just didn't like
no,
the answers.
Phil, don't flip that on me because you didn't. You were dishonest with us, and we
That's-
smelt that.
It's still an answer. It doesn't matter if it's honesty or not. It's still an answer.
Then let me ask you this: Phil. Will you
Unfucking-believable.
apologize for lying to us? Because that's where a lot of that came from.
What do you
Like, we
even
knew
say
you were
there?
lying,
Like at this
right?
point,
And-
like
and
it's
I
like
gave
fuck
you an
no,
opportunity
that
multiple
says it all.
times. I remember pleading with you, Phil, just come clean on this, and the opportunity was there. And had you just come clean at that instance, everybody would move past this. So I do think that, like, once again, why were we upset, Phil? What's the root of all this? We felt and we knew and we smelt a lie. We smelt it, right? So, and you admitted yesterday to lying to us. So that to me stings because you're not only lying to me, you're lying to your audience, you're lying to my
This is
audience,
so
and
funny
you're
when
lying
I
to
seen it
everybody
live.
else. So
Incredible.
you should apologize to me and Adam and Travis and Blabs and everybody else who watched that show because they were expecting
Where are
a
you gonna go from
definitive
here, Phil?
DSP interview, and what they got was lies. That's not definitive, Phil. That's the issue I had with this.
Okay, now since we're getting into the nuance of it now, let's go talk because the lies you're talking about are WWE champions. That's what we're talking about. Let's hone in on.
But will you apologize though? Because that's
Let's
go.
hold on.
Well, maybe.
Let's talk. Let's do this.
Let's
all right?
talk.
Let's like man to man. Don't demand something from me now. Let's
Oh,
talk like
I'm
uh
asking.
oh,
I'm asking.
Okay.
Let me explain to you why I'm not gonna apologize for lying to you.
if in that interview, all right, I had been honest with you and completely transparent, and I said fessed up to everything, right?
Then what?
Immediately you would have said, "That's great, prove it." Correct?
Prove what? There's nothing to prove. You proved it by saying it. If you say something's true that everybody already fucking thinks, you don't need proof. You need proof to convince people of something they don't believe.
You would have said, "Prove everything
Fucking
you're
idiot.
saying."
And we gave
Yeah.
you the opportunity to.
Okay, now let's be real about this, because I don't want you to lie to the internet about it. I want to be real about this.
I'm not going to lie to the internet. I'm not.
In that interview,
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, because the story is he's not down from the rafters anymore. I don't even think about that. That's so
all
fucking
right,
stupid.
you said to me, "Show me evidence of what
I
stuff
sold
you're
it,
saying.
Craig.
Show me screen captures or whatever." And I'm going to be honest with you. No, I was never going to do that on the fly because I'm the kind of guy I want to make sure if I'm going to do something like that, I want to make sure everything's safe. I want to make sure it's correct. I'm not going to send you
Yeah.
something just to say it wasn't good enough. I want you to show you the definitive evidence to prove what
It's like when you want to collect $100 for buying Switch 2.
I'm saying or whatever, okay?
You got to make sure everything's safe and correct first.
So I'm thinking in my head during the interview because I didn't know you were going to hit me with that. Honestly, I thought you were just going to ask me questions and I was going to answer. I didn't know you were going to say, "This is your opportunity to actually clear this up." I
Well, why would he let you know beforehand so you could fabricate evidence?
never thought you would do that. So when I'm thinking in my head, okay, how can I prove it? How can I do this? How can I do that? I need to get this stuff together for you, right? And you had left the door open. And in fact, this is what near the end of the interview we were talking about.
Remember when he said he wanted to get paid even if he fails the lie detector test on Cambion? So this guy's a
If you
fucking
want to,
animal.
clarify everything, you can send it to me after we're done here. We even left the door open for that, correct? You remember that, right? I'm not making that up. That was correct.
Right. And to be clear,
I don't know why Craig agreed with that. I think that's putting words in Craig's mouth. But
I actually have our emails pulled
whatever.
up. Sure. If you have those pulled up, I think that you can read your part and I can read my part, just so everybody is on the same page and there's full clarity on all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't need to read them. I know exactly what they say.
Well, I think it's important just so this is us talking, but
Yeah.
we'd be ignorant to say that there's not a couple,
There we go.
a few thousand people who.
This is a bad
once again,
look,
this is
Craig.
part of the story of how we got here, right? So I do think it's important because I don't want to leave any context out. So do you mind if I read our emails after the just our back and forth that we had after, because I
Go
think it
ahead.
does provide.
If you want to do his work for him
to
and
what we're
expose
talking
yourself.
about here.
Sure. This is the email that was sent after I got off the show.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I believe there was an email then, and then I emailed you again after I'd eaten dinner about, are you available? Are you going to be checking this email box? And that was where we had left it. And then the next day you emailed me something in the morning, correct? That's the chain of events.
Okay, so I haven't it happened on I guess we talked March 16th of last year, right? So you emailed me at 8:18 and said, "Hey Craig, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on how the show went. I really hope that it was a big benefit
Hey, Craig, you want to see the evidence I fabricated in the past 4 hours?
to you guys. If so, this may have been the only time in history that my infamy has actually helped something. I know you'll want to get back to normalcy, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you
Give him that paragraph.
again about the possible next appearance. My viewers are telling me that they think that you and Adam were too harsh, but I disagree completely. As I told you on the podcast, you are nothing but fair.
Craig, you were so
but
fair to me.
There is pretty much 100% consensus that the Keemstar bit was intrusive, gave him free plugs for his own content, and took away about an hour that should have been.
Your
more
landlord
on
says
topic.
Phil got felted
I
on
didn't
his own
mind.
show.
I didn't mind.
You ain't seen
but
felted
that's
yet,
the vibe my
motherfucker.
viewers are sharing with me. I would likely be best for a repeat appearance to just be us, to avoid
Oh,
people
he's telling
feeling
Craig.
like it was
Telling Craig how Craig should have him on his show. What a
a
nice
quote,
guy.
surprise or trick or shock me. How often do you check this email? I'm still 50-50 on showing you my Champions account at this point, especially
He doesn't even know how often he checks it.
because of what Keemstar said. I feel nobody would be able, would believe you, even if you vouch for
You
me.
get mad at
But I
Craig
respect
for not
you
checking
and-
his
and
email
still
enough, and you
considering
literally
it,
asked him how much he
despite the
checks
fact
it.
I'm incredibly scared my info will once again leak.
He has
and
no
hurt me.
obligation to check
So that
an
was the
email.
email that you sent me at 8:18.
Okay. Which was 5:18 my time. Well, actually, I don't know what time zone you are.
Felt
but
him,
it was-
Phil.
Central. So 6:18 your time.
Gotcha. So it
Okay.
was right after dinner. Correct. Now, I will clarify what was going on. Okay. Now, did you see my show last night where I
Please.
plugged the truth about
Please.
WWE champions for the very first time? Have you seen that at all? Or
Clear
have you
this
just
up.
heard
I
about
had
it?
a clip sent to me, but
Okay.
I haven't like watched the whole thing. I've watched
Okay.
like 90 seconds of it.
In a nutshell, all right. Yeah, the account was mine. I had it for many
He
years.
thinks
and after years of-
everybody he's ever talked to is watching his reaction to his documentary.
harassment by my detractors, I sold the account.
Oh, did
so
you?
at the time that we're doing this interview, I don't have
This
access
is
to the
believable.
account. So
Very
I
believable.
can't prove really anything, right? All I could do is I could show you like a new account, which is the account that I had currently. If you remember, you would ask
The
me
account he made that day. It's new. I sold it this morning.
straight up in the interview, "Hey, do you still play WWE Champions?" Yes,
What a
I do.
dickhead.
But it's on this new account. It's not the original account that the detractors knew about and were stalking me for all these years.
Phil, I don't really care about WWE.
Okay, no, fair enough. Here's-
You don't care,
I
Phil.
understand, but you have to understand the situation. So I'm saying to you, I'm 50-50 on sending it, but if you had said to me, yeah, okay, I'm
You're
still
gonna be
open to
fucking
it,
stupider when
I was
this
gonna
one's
show
done.
you the new account. I was going to try to explain all this to you.
Okay.
And say, this is why I can't just on a whim show you everything. It wouldn't have worked. You easily could have said, oh, you made this up. This is a bullshit new account or whatever.
Because it was a new
it's
account.
a convoluted story. It is, okay?
What were you gonna
what
show
was
him?
your response to me reaching out to you, saying, hey, I have the information. I'm 50-50 on it. What was your response?
He said he hopes you get
Yeah,
to level
so-
2, dickhead.
And once again, let's make sure we have all
Felt
references here.
it.
It's you send that March 16th at 8 a.m.
Craig was asking for this.
So it's evening time for me, right? My morning routine is I wake up and I start prepping for the show, right? So we're live at 11. I'm getting up. I'm getting prepped for everything. I have not checked this email, right? I've not checked this email. And you know, because I told you prior to, in our original
All the
correspondence, I don't check
LARPers
this
from
email.
Kick Chat
I don't
looks
check
like they're
this
in
email very
YouTube back
often.
then.
Sometimes it'll
YouTube
go
had way
weeks
more LARPers
before
before
I
Keg.
check the email, right? So you know this. So so you send me that email. The following day, March 17th, I respond at 7:45. That's the next time we have any sort of correspondence.
Is that AM or PM?
That is PM.
Okay.
So it's been
Whoa.
about 23 hours.
And you've already done your show for Friday. It's already taken
Correct.
place.
It is done. So here's my response.
Too late,
to you.
bud.
I said, and I felt like
Look
this
at
was
him
a
rock,
very
rock, buddy.
fair.
That's a cope rock.
course, very fair assessment of things. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. I said, hey, Phil, I think the show went okay yesterday. We talked about it at length on today's show as a debrief. I think we were all left,
he knows.
I think we all left the interview
They
mentally
say Cat
exhausted
watched
and
it,
feeling
right?
incredibly frustrated as at the end of the day, we want what's best for you, man.
fuck.
The things
Imagine Cat having to watch that and make fun of Phil.
The WWE mobile games, the bank stuff,
Fucking
etc.
get detractor super chats or whatever it was,
too
an
much
hour and a
evidence
half.
saying it's yours, and your only evidence is just saying it's not.
I don't know if I
feel
ever
like we
watched
gave you
that.
multiple
I feel like I
opportunities
started
turn
to,
this
but I
thing
didn't
around,
finish it.
But you just seem so dug in. Even in the face of insanely detailed evidence, you wouldn't take it. Even with Keemstar coming on, I tried to lay out the similarities you feel towards him.
Oh, Craig's
and the
really
way
fucking
people
going
feel
mask
about
off
you
like
based
this?
off of things that you've said online.
Exposing
It was tough.
everything.
Honestly, I'm just disappointed, man.
Keep it
Like
going,
I said,
Craig.
I and we want what's best for you, man.
Craig's digging
We
himself in a
very
hole now.
Much do, but you
Phil
have to
didn't even
want
have
what's
to
best
do
for
anything.
yourself. When you're ready to take that step, I will gladly help you, man. Help you, man, on your journey. You deserve to get to level 2. I know you can do it, and that's the email that I sent to you, and I think that was very fair. You know, I did not lie to you and be like, hey,
very
Phil, it was
snarky.
great. It was spectacular. Can't wait to set up.
He was talking down to Phil.
As I said in the email, we
Which
were
he should.
exhausted from it, and mentally tired.
Everybody
from
should
it,
talk down
physically
to
tired
Phil.
from it. And
Everybody does.
we talked about that. We
You'd have
talked
to.
about that.
You have to literally be a horror cow for Phil to talk down to you. Like this is why it doesn't work. Wants to make fun of LTG and Wings and Boogie. He should be going after Cyraxx.
on the following debrief.
You got to punch down,
So,
Phil.
Had we done that debrief immediately after the show, chances are we would have said the exact same
Cobra would have felted the shit out of Phil if they ever met.
thing. Probably worse, But you can see in that email, we felt lied to. We felt
Your Phil
exhausted,
did.
right? And the reality is, Phil, we were lied to, right? So, and self-admittedly,
You're gonna have to watch the fucking RTU.
We
fucking
knew that. So
watch Rich lose
naturally,
his
when
chips
somebody
one of these
lies
days.
to you and continues to lies to you, you're gonna be upset.
He told you it just has to be an answer. It doesn't have to be fucking true, Craig. Get over it.
Right.
So we were
Fair enough.
upset.
Okay. So I will confirm everything that Craig just said is true. That is correct, was what was in those emails. I know for a fact that's exactly how it transpired. Okay. So now he said it. I didn't say it. He said it.
You guys
He literally
heard him.
read the emails word for word. No one can say that.
Yeah, we
made
heard
this
it.
up,
He's exposed.
okay?
He's fucking
So we got to follow
disgusting.
the order of events. I'm on your interview. 5 hours, hard-hitting questions. I lie to you about WWE champions.
Yes.
You leave the door open and say, you can send me the information after to clarify all of this. Okay? That was said directly in the interview. You agree to that, right, Craig? You did say that.
Mm-hmm.
I go on my show. I say, that was a good interview. I'm okay with it. I even email you, say, I'm okay with it. I'm 50-50 about sending you the stuff. Do you check your email?
No.
You literally just publicly admitted you don't check your email. Right?
Well, in this situation, yeah, it's been a day. Yeah.
This is like
So
master debate
you
here.
ended an interview, the
Phil's been
hottest
watching
piece of
Destiny.
content you've ever made at that point on Side Scrollers. You knew
He's
all eyes
cornered.
were on you. You
He's
knew
cornered.
people were looking to see if I was going to follow up with you and send you this information.
They're gonna be studying
and
this
you
for
decided
years.
not to
Debate
check
class.
your email, but instead to do a show ragging on me the next day. Is that a correct statement?
I would say that in between me ending the show, being done with the internet for the day, going to sleep, and waking up the next day and then doing the show, like Phil, as we said at the time,
Bill, he don't
you
even
had
know
one
your name, Phil.
opportunity to send the stuff. It wasn't there, right? You
He's
passed on
stuttering.
that.
He's stuttering.
Whoa. Passed on what? You just admitted. You just admitted the door was open to send you the information when I got it together.
During the show, Phil, during the interview.
He didn't want to send it then.
We're on an interview and a show.
He got DDoS attacked.
Craig. We're in an interview. The idea of the interview is for me to answer your questions. It's not
Even if he lies, remember, don't forget that part.
stop the interview. let me dig into documents and get you screenshots and things proving that's not what the interview was. Never once before the interview did you ever say that's what it was going to be. And like I said, if I'm going to send you something, it has to be sure that it's proving my point. This was a convoluted story. It's not I could just send you a screenshot. I got to try to prove now that I've got a new account and it's not the old account, that I sold the account. This is complicated. It's not something I can just do during the show.
Everything's complicated.
I
with
was
Phil.
literally, to be transparent with you now, as I sent
now
you that
he's gonna be
email,
transparent.
I had everything ready. I told you I was 50-50. I literally had it all ready to go, and all you had to do was check your email and say, "I'm here, Phil. I'll check it."
How did you do
and
that,
I would have
though?
sent it to you, and you would have had it.
What
And
was the
instead of having
proof,
a
though?
Friday show where all you did was beat me up all day, you would have had the Friday show saying the big reveal. DSP cleared the air. He said he was a liar, but here's the truth. But you didn't check your email.
Imagine that fucking world, huh?
You told me.
Like, what do you want, dude? Like, I'm sorry that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. That's not how people communicate in 2023. And I know that's how you communicated, but like, I didn't check my email for 23 hours, and I'm sorry that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. I apologize. for that. Will you apologize
Not good
for
enough.
lying?
I apologize for lying, but I don't want your apology that you didn't check your email. I want your apology for being completely disingenuous about everything that happened after the fact, after the interview. That's what I want.
But the thing is, Phil,
Imagine being called disingenuous from a guy who says it doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. It's still an answer. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think we
dude.
were being disingenuous.
What a
I
fucking
think we were being
retard.
completely honest with how we felt. You know, like I said, we spent 5 hours talking to you. Getting
Maybe
the
you shouldn't have been
runaround, man.
honest.
And like, it was not meant to be like. This was, once again, I go back to the definitive darksydephil interview, and it wasn't. So I'm disappointed in that because there's things that you're telling us now you lied about. We felt it. We knew it was happening in real time. We felt like we were getting gaslit. So naturally, yes, I felt exhausted and tired, and honestly, didn't want to deal with you. Which is why in that email I said, "Look, man, we're just disappointed." Like I said, I want what's best for you. We very much do, but you have to want to help yourself. Is lying to us on stream helping yourself? No, of course not. You deserve to get to level 2. I know you can do it. Right?
Craig, what you told me in that email you sent me on Friday,
Yeah, Craig.
basically in other words says we don't actually care what the truth is.
What?
Because I had the truth and was going to send it to you. And you
Oh,
ignored me.
get the fuck out of here.
No, it's not that I ignored you.
That's
It's
a
because I didn't
fucking-
check the email.
oh, man.
Not
That's
checking the
called ignoring because you
Mental
knew that was a line
gymnast.
of communication. You asked me to send you the information. I was going to, and you chose not to check it. You actively ignored the way that I could have cleared my name, and then you went on to do a show that made you
This
tons
is a
of
bad
money
call, bro.
defaming me on the internet. That's exactly what happened, and there's no way that
Exactly.
you can ever clarify that because it's in black and white. You just
What?
admitted it. You read it.
Huh?
You just admitted it publicly that you didn't check the line of communication we had that I could have cleared the whole situation.
You
Was
felt
this
it.
like the gotcha? Like,
There's no
It is
gotcha.
no,
There's
it
no
is.
gotcha. You read it. I actually
You
wasn't
got
gonna
him.
read the
No,
emails.
like,
You did it.
Phil, I don't apologize for not checking my email for 23 hours. I'm an adult with a family and kids, and honestly, I was tired of it. Right?
What's that
The
supposed
fact
to
that I
mean?
did
You got a
check my
cat?
Email on Friday night was fascinating.
big's your
amazing
wife?
that I did that, right? That's a big dub. But I'm sorry that you felt betrayed that I didn't check my email. And once again, there's a big difference between ignoring because I didn't.
See, Craig's kind of a dick too because he's doing the whole, I'm sorry you felt that way, Phil. Fucking people hate that, especially when they got apology fetish. That fucking chaps him.
No, the email
Chaps
was
his little
there
butt.
in the first place. You have to know it was there.
He's
to
hot. He's
actively
white
ignore it.
hot.
I did not actively ignore your email. I didn't know it happened. So I can't ignore something that I didn't know happened.
Craig, in the interview, we ended it with the door is open. You
I'm
can
gonna have to
send me
watch
the
the interview
information.
again because I don't recall all this.
So you didn't know it happened. Do you need to have a bomb go off when someone sends you the thing you directly asked for? Would you not even in a moment think, hey, maybe he's going to contact me today about this and I should check, because how else am I going to send you these documents anyway, by the way?
Maybe he
It has to
didn't
be
give
an
a
email
fuck.
attachment, right?
You ever
I
think
can't
of
just
that, Phil?
call you and give it to you.
Most
I
people
didn't
don't
have
give
your
a fuck
Discord or
about you, and the
anything,
people that
right?
do
We were
just
doing it
want to
through
make
some
fun
other
of you.
streaming client. So I had to send you an email. All right. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. We can talk about this for the rest of the show.
Allow me to kind of.
One more, and then I want to
One
move
more.
on because this is.
I wanna move on.
That's fine. I'm just going
made
based
his
off of our
point.
track record of emailing back and forth. Okay, I'm just looking at.
Well, that
how
doesn't
we
matter.
emailed back
It
and
doesn't
forth leading
matter
up to this thing.
that he literally asked you in the email, how often do you check this? He asked you that. I guess that was a cue, meaning Check it right now.
There's pretty much at least a day between every correspondence that we had, right? Almost every single time there's a
Doesn't matter if it's day or not. It's still a correspondence.
there's at least a day between our correspondence. So based off of our track record of corresponding with each other,
Craig still exposed
I'm not
himself.
Go, like I said, I'm
Craig,
exhausted,
this is a really bad cope, bro.
This is really bad, dude.
We just ended the interview. You said the door.
I was just joking. I remember him saying it to Josh. I didn't remember him saying it to Craig. I've been saying that over and
is
over
open.
again the
Send me
whole time.
information.
based off of our track record of corresponding with each other. I'm not gonna go. Like I said, I'm
Craig,
exhausted,
this is a really bad cope, bro. This is really bad. You're sick.
our track record.
Bad cope.
I'm not gonna go. Like I said, I'm
Craig,
exhausted.
this is a really bad cope, bro. This is really bad. You're sick. We just ended the interview. You said the door is open. Send me the information.
I'm not gonna go. Like I said, I'm
Craig,
exhausted,
this is a really bad cope, bro. This is really bad. You're sick. We just
Craig.
ended the interview. You said the door is
Man,
open.
Craig,
Send me
this
the
ain't looking
information,
good for you,
and then
buddy.
you just say, "Well, I'm just not going to check for the information." That's a bad.
Craig will never work in this
Previously,
town
our
again.
Correspondence was never a reason for you to check right away. Now you had a reason and you didn't. Instead, you actually did the opposite. Instead of giving me the fair shake, but see if I was going to send you stuff, you went on a show defaming me the entire.
You're right,
next day.
Craig.
That's
Why
the
didn't you
worst
check your
situation
email?
Possible for you,
Why don't you check your email every 10 minutes for the next 20 hours?
but you
I
didn't
have a-
care.
Phil, you got me. I didn't check my email. I'm sorry. Hey, with that said, why do you need me? If you want to put this out there, like you have an X account, you have a Twitter account, you have social media, you have a YouTube community.
Yeah,
tab.
why
You
do you
can
need
post
him,
all
Phil?
this stuff available, right?
Mhm.
Like literally right now. You said you have it pulled up. Like you had all this stuff available. It's still got to be on your computer somewhere.
Is this your gotcha moment? You're gonna try to get me to post my shit on the internet?
fuck,
No,
got
Phil,
him.
I'm saying is you
Got
don't
him.
need me. You never did need me, right? And
Stop, he's already dead, Phil.
Because what you don't understand, Craig, because again, you didn't know this, is that
He's going
anytime
Raha
that
Jackson
I try
on
to
him.
defend myself, the detractors move the goalposts. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a
okay.
little innocuous thing that doesn't matter at all. It could be a big, full-blown
Yeah, I
lie
didn't
that I've
think
been doing
of
for
that.
years. Whenever I
What
try
now,
to do
Craig?
something, all right, they move the goalpost. Right now, I could post all the information up, and they would say, that's fake. That's not true. So it doesn't matter what I post or what I don't. Now, in the case of you have presented yourself as a neutral third party. You were going to be someone who was going to do this interview and be fair, and then you were going to judge for yourself, which actually seems like that's what happened, except you didn't actually give me the opportunity to send you the information to clear my name.
He did
and
that
tell you
on
what really was
purpose,
going
right?
on. Now,
You always
whether
have
or
the
not
What's
you
his
checked your email
motive,
or not,
though, Phil?
it's not a big deal.
I'm sorry I didn't check my email, and I would like to take this moment to apologize to you and apologize to all of your champions, and especially all the detractors for not checking my email for 23 hours. I'm sorry.
right. Okay, so let's move on from the email because this is going to be so boring if we keep talking about this. And I know that your time is valuable. You said
Yeah.
you can only be here for about 90 minutes, right? So
Phil
grab
won
your
that
phone.
section of the
Another
debate.
20 minutes, yeah.
Okay. The next day you do a show. The entire show you're ragging on me, saying you didn't
Phil's got to fit a lot of felting in the next 20 minutes.
believe me at all.
Which,
You laugh. Okay, go ahead.
which you didn't give us reason to.
Okay,
Which you admitted to yesterday.
fair enough.
Craig,
You
let it
laughed
go,
at my
all
detractors,
right? It doesn't matter if it was a lie. I
you
can't
did all
even
the
fucking
memes,
say it.
You got a whole bunch of detractor contributions, correct? That did happen.
Sure.
Okay. Did you continue to do content based on me after this at all?
Oh, yeah. Monetize the hate, baby.
Not especially. I think there was a.
Oh, he's
I
got
don't
to
remember the
recall.
context of it, but I remember seeing.
This is
you
looking
said
real
something
bad for
about
you, Craig.
Us, and I was just kind of like done with it. And I think I went live, and I did what was called a monetize the hater stream.
Yeah.
And but I don't remember the context of it. But I remember being like,
Explain that.
like I was done with it, right? That's the thing, Phil. You got to understand. Like we've done almost 400 episodes of Side Scrollers, right? Your interview was one day, right? Now, once again, was it a chapter of the show? Yes, 100%.
Yeah, the one day they were live at the same time, and Craig was calling Phil to come on and talk it out with him. He didn't want to.
Do we appreciate it? Yes,
But Craig was hot then. Craig probably would have called him names and shit then.
100%. But like we were done. We've turned the page. Just like I don't watch your stuff on a day-to-day basis. Just like you don't watch our stuff on a day-to-day basis. I have too much going on to worry about what somebody else is doing online, right? So you get brought up occasionally, but it's just part of the side scrollers chapter in our book at this point.
What do you think he watches all night?
Just like side scrollers is a part.
Well, we know he watches LTG and
so
Wings detractor videos
so I went
now.
live and honestly, I will like to give credit to to my boy Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers for his monetize the hater thing. So yeah, I think I went live with
maybe Phil will start a LTG detractor channel. That'd be really fucking funny, actually.
With the monetize the hater thing, and
that'd be the best thing he could do.
And just kind of railed for a little bit because I was tired. I don't remember the context of it. I was just tired of hearing you talk about us. So it is what it is. Do I regret it? Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, it's just part of what it is.
Okay. All right. I wanted to hear that straight from your mouth that this happened because I was, the truth is, Craig, I don't even know because, like you said, I don't watch your content, so I actually don't know the.
You don't know.
Truth of what happens and what doesn't happen. I just hear people saying, "Are you aware that right now Craig has a stream called Monetize the Haters? He's making money off of your detractors. He's saying that he wants to be on your show." I'm like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about."
Okay, you're right. That's what it was. You were live. That's right. You were live, and I think you were talking shit about us or something along the lines, and talking about how bad we were to you, and I was like, and this was another thing. We're like, look,
Phil don't talk about people on his show
and do exactly what we're doing. And this was, I don't even know how long ago this was. It was just like, let's just get done with this. And as I've said at the start of this, like,
Phil didn't have the backup of the casino back then, all right?
To just get through this shit. And I told you, like, I don't care if it's on our channel or on your channel or some other channel, right? Let's just do it. So I was actually glad that you reached out because, I don't think about you a whole lot, Phil, except for when people bring you up to me. And,
fair enough.
And
why not?
You're upset that people are like, giving super chats because, well, maybe they enjoyed what we do, right? And I'm not gonna say like, some people were just excited to see that the interview was done. They were congratulating us for doing the interview.
They don't enjoy what you do. They enjoyed that you were bullying me. That's what it was. You were doing the whole stream, monetize the hater.
It's done. They were congratulating us for doing the interview.
They don't enjoy what you do. They enjoyed that you were bullying me.
Bullying me.
That's what it was. You were doing the whole stream, monetize the haters, and you were making money off of making fun of me, which is what everyone else does too.
Look, he's got his arms crossed. What a bitch.
Because you were talking shit about us.
What a fucking bitch.
Okay, now on my stream, was I sitting there saying, "Hey, Craig haters, come on the stream and dump on Craig, and let's accept all the donations for everyone who doesn't like Craig. Let's talk about all Craig's dirty laundry on my stream."
He's gonna take all the money, though.
Did I ever do that, Craig?
So I don't know. I don't watch your stuff, but you're
he
telling me
takes the money after this.
I never did that. Now
he just says because he didn't invite them. I guess it makes him better than somebody. I don't know. He's always moral fagging about.
That's the only problem
nothing.
I guess
I
don't have a problem with anything before or during the interview.
I don't even know. I can't explain.
You left the door open for me to contact you. You ignored that line of.
He has these ways of fucking acting like he's morally superior to people, and I never understand them, but. He explains them, does nothing but explain them all the time, but I never feel like I get any closer to the understanding.
Harmful show. Because you know what? Now I gotta talk about this publicly. All right. Are you aware that because you didn't give me the chance to defend myself after the interview, you did a bullying show where you ragged on me, and I wasn't there to defend myself.
Now he's in a guilt trip him
against any of that. Do you know how that hurt me and my viewers and my content? You probably don't.
Hold on.
Probably don't give a fuck either.
This real quick. Europe, and by the way, this is something that I do want to talk about. You were upset that
I don't think you hurt yourself by lying.
That we went live and talked about this, and you were pissed that you weren't there to defend yourself.
Right.
You did a decompression show, literally immediately after. You did a decompression show about Keemstar last week, and he wasn't there to defend himself. You did the exact same thing that we do, Phil.
Whoa. You just proved you don't watch my decompression shows.
But why the fuck would he?
You just proved it. The decompression shows have nothing to do with talking about and ragging on the guest that just appeared.
So you.
In fact,
What are they
last
about?
week with
What
Keem,
just happened?
Uh-oh.
last week with
We're
Keem, I
blowing
had
Keem
a
again.
whole stream where I said we are not going to talk bad about this man. Instead, we're just going to talk about the future, building bridges,
We're gonna
and things
suck
like
his
that.
dick.
We didn't say one negative word about Keem. I didn't accept negative contributions. I told my audience to not contribute and insult Keem, and they
Okay.
didn't, because
on.
that's wrong. That's capitalizing on an already bad situation. Because
Oh,
now
man.
I'm going to talk, Craig. Please let me speak.
Now
okay?
I'm talking, Craig.
After the interview, I had to
Felt
cancel
them.
a whole
Felt them,
fucking
King.
show that I had planned that was called DSP Asks It. I had guests
Well,
lined
that's a
up
stupid fucking.
to be on the
show.
show
Oh.
that I was going to interview. It was a big project that I had lined up for my React channel. I had to
Is
cancel
the
it
interview
because the guest
Darish.
said, well, after the side scroller's appearance, they really dumped on you. It's not the interview we have issue with. It's the fact that they dumped on you. So
Oh,
now
that's what
literally
they
everyone who
said.
saw your interview thinks you're an asshole. So because
Oh,
of that,
I
we're
remember
canceling.
him. Purple
So I had to
pickle
cancel
yum
the whole
yum.
show. My
Kino
followers
Dent.
came out and said, we didn't mind the interview. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Let me finish.
Let him finish.
After the interview, my followers said, we don't care about the interview. We care that they ragged on you after. Now it makes you look like an asshole. Now that makes us look like an
Ah.
asshole. We all
You didn't look like an asshole before that, Phil. That's right. I knew that.
want to be your fans, but how can we do it when the entire interview hates you now? Right?
The entire interview
And
hates you.
You
now.
don't understand. What you thought you were doing was decompression. Let's just be honest. But what you did is you gave more avenue for the people who already hated me to hate more. All you did was you gave a public grandstanding spectacle to my detractors. And the worst part about it, Craig, you publicly monetized it.
Yep.
You monetized bullying. That's
You're a
the
bad
problem
man,
with
Craig.
what you did the day after. You hurt my business. You hurt my followers. You hurt me. You owe me an apology.
You
for
hurt
that.
me.
I don't care about you not checking the interview. The email.
Yeah.
I care about the fact that you not once, but then again later down the line,
Oh, Phil
monetized
is
hate
spitting
against
fire.
me. I literally never monetized
This is like
hate
rap
against you
battle
ever,
shit.
ever.
Sure about that, Phil? You've never once monetized your hate against us? You never talked poorly about side scrollers?
Oh, I
Oh,
absolutely talked poorly
absolutely.
about you, but I certainly didn't have entire shows based
He did it. Oh, he didn't have an entire show. He did it differently. All right, Craig. You don't know the rules of how to badmouth people behind their back, Craig.
around it, inviting all of your detractors. Because you want to know something, Craig? They contacted me
Ooh.
about this show.
Uh-oh.
They said, here's all the dirt on Craig. And you want to know what I told them? This is the truth, Craig. I said, fuck you. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm better than that. I'm not going to talk
Well,
about
why'd you have to tell him, fuck you?
Craig's dirty laundry.
What the
Because
fuck?
that's not what this is about.
What'd they
I
do to
easily
you?
been doing that all along. Everyone has skeletons in the closet. We all know this. But I'm never going to be like that. I want to build bridges. I don't want to burn them. All right?
This
At
is
the
a
end
king
of this
snake.
conversation today, I don't want to be at your throat. I don't want you to hate me. I just want us to be at peace. Even if we never speak again, I just want us to be at peace. I'm tired of this internet drama bullshit. But you hurt me bad. with
You
your
hurt me
behavior
bad.
After that interview, and I want you to understand how bad it was for me. I had to hide for a year. And now to just show you, Craig, how different it could have been. Did you see my appearance on Kino Casino recently?
This is the best
and
part.
how different that went?
That's when he hits him like the fucking mafia, Don.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Kino Casino is a show over on Kick. They had me on. We joked about everything. We joked about WWE champions, everything. We made a big laugh about it. But they also treated me like a respectful human. They didn't monetize hate against me. We had fun conversation. We watched video clips. We laughed. You want to know what it was? I was a guest on their show. Like I was supposed to be a guest on your show, but never happened because we did the interview. You want to know what happened? Public opinion has changed, Craig.
Oh, yeah.
You may not realize this. Right now, people like
This
me
is peak
for the first time in
resurgence.
ages.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the redemption
Because
arc.
they gave me a chance. Because they didn't rag
Okay,
on me. They
Craig.
didn't bully me. They
Oh,
were
man.
bullying me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is your redemption arc. We know. This fucking reaction there is fucking good.
A big laugh about it. But they also treated me like a respectful human. They didn't monetize hate against me. We had fun conversation. We watched video clips. We laughed. You want to know what it was? I was a guest on their show. Like I was supposed to be a guest on your show.
Perception changed,
but never
Craig.
happened because we did the interview. You want to know what happened? Public opinion has changed, Craig. You may not realize this. Right now, people like me for the first time in ages.
Redemption arc, right.
That's right.
This is treating him like a fucking child. Holy fuck. Yeah, Phil, good job. This is your redemption arc. We know. Good Good job,
because they
bud.
gave me a chance. Because they didn't rag on me, they didn't bully me. They were bullying me, but once I
How's the redemption going now, Phil?
personally talked to them
Just remember, though, this was all part of the King Snake plan, so none of this was even real.
nicely and say, hey, just have
Maybe he can make up with Craig now. Because maybe he was just throwing shade at Craig like this to further his schemes against the casino.
me as a guest. Whoa, what the hell? So everything they say about you is
Who was he even snaking at this point, you know? Who knows?
actually isn't true. Well, not all of
Anybody
it,
and
but
everybody.
The thing is that being treated
You think he
kindly
snaked him?
instead of being bullied
He
and
might
being
have.
monetizing the bullying led me to
Might
a
have been
redemption
lying.
arc
Might all
where
been
now
bullshit.
I'm finally fessing up to all the
Who
stuff I've
knows?
done wrong, and it's all changing for the better, right? That
Phil, you
could have
had-
happened with your interview, but
You
that's
ha-
not
no,
what
no,
you
no, no.
did.
Oh,
We
he's
gave
got
you
his
an
full chest.
opportunity
Full
to fess
chest,
up
Phil.
during the interview, Phil.
Which I couldn't do because I couldn't prove it during the interview. I had to get the information
You
together.
didn't check
and
the
I was
email.
going to do that, and you didn't give
Check.
me the
Yep,
opportunity.
you didn't check the email.
No. Did you have any of that information available when you talked about this yesterday? All you did was you just talked.
Oh, I
That's
thought
it.
you wanted to answer.
So all
That's
you
right.
needed to do
That's
18
right.
months ago was
That's
just
right.
talk, just like you did yesterday on your show.
No,
right?
Whoa.
Now you're moving the goalpost. So
Oh,
first
yeah.
it was the only way anyone was going to believe you is if you sent me all the documentation during the show.
Well,
If they believe that you're not doing it, that's how you prove that you didn't do it. It's 220, baby.
Now you're saying I could have
give you
just
this.
said whatever.
I'll give you this. But
220.
I will give you that, right? Documentation
Shit
would have
is
helped your
popping
case,
off.
100%. With that said, Phil, like just you saying, yeah, I played WWE champions. Yeah. My name was this, whatever it was, right?
The
You know,
gun
and
show.
just saying those things, yeah, absolutely. That would have gone so far, right? And I feel like we extended the olive branch many times during that interview,
The problem, Craig, is you don't understand that he's making all this shit up after the fact.
right? And once again, you left that interview feeling good. Your point of contention is that after the show, we spoke honestly about our frustrations. Once again, why were we frustrated, Phil? Because we felt lied to, which was validated yesterday, literally yesterday. Later on, did I do a monetize the hater stream? 100%. Why? Because you were talking shit about me, right? We've never gone out of our way to go off and say, hey, it's time to dump on Phil because it's fun to dump on Phil, right? We dumped because we were pissed at the time. The result of the interview, we felt lied to, once again, validated, and you were talking shit. So naturally it was like, hey, and the idea of going live there was, let's go on Phil's show and hash it out like we're doing now. So look, Phil, I mean this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were hurt. I'm sorry that your community was hurt. And I'm sorry that you felt that way for a long time. That's why I'm on this show. I want to help you close.
No, all right. So now I think Craig's like come full circle and giving him the apology he wants.
The door with this chapter, right? I'm not your enemy. In fact, I've been your biggest champion. I've gone out of your way, as in that email. I want to help you get to level 2, whatever that looks like, right?
That really is the funny part. That like, as far as I've been watching Phil, Craig's the only guy who ever treated him like, honestly, whatever you call it, genuinely. Everybody else has been trying to use Phil for content and shit, and Phil just fucking hates him for it. I guess I don't know. And
I've said that continuously in every single email correspondence we've had. I've said, hey, I want to let you know, let's get together, let's hash this out, let's move forward, right? Every single time, even when it comes to inviting you on the show.
yeah, you think he'd like to be on Side Scrollers now?
Our 1 year anniversary. Hey, Phil, come on the show. Nothing serious. Let's just come on. It'd be fun. People would have it on. Hey, Phil, do you want Street Fighter 6 is coming out? You want to help hash this out? Let's just hash it out.
I'm not
Let's
playing
talk
Street
it out.
Fighter with
It'd
you,
be
Craig.
a great way to build a bridge, which once again, that's something that you want to do. I listen, if we want to go with the build a bridge metaphor, I put down lots of wood over the last 18
Ooh.
months trying to build a bridge. And every single time the email wasn't
He
responded
put
to.
the wood down, Phil.
Or
Nothing to
maybe
say
they didn't
about
check your
that.
email. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So
Oh, I did check the email. It's just there's no way I'm going to be playing Street Fighter with a guy who doesn't play Street Fighter, where I'm not going to benefit
that
from
was
it
a good one,
whatsoever.
Craig.
You will,
But don't
because
you
you're going to get
understand-
another boost from my appearance on your show playing
Oh
Street
yeah,
Fighter.
yeah. He's
I'm
using
not going
you.
to get a boost from that.
Phil, we could have done it on your channel. That's the thing. You didn't even respond. But isn't that the fun of it?
You're
The
done
idea that
getting
you
clout
play
off
Street Fighter
DSP,
6,
Craig.
You lay into me for
You
fucking
hurt him
9 rounds,
bad.
for 9 matches. You destroy me. You're the definitive champ, and all of a sudden the king is back.
Nobody cares
Right.
about that, Craig. No one cares about you
but-
playing Street Fighter. What are you talking about?
But they care
Craig,
about us.
you're
getting
out of your
together, and
fucking
Street Fighter
mind,
is
Craig.
the conduit to do that. That's what I'm getting at. Move past the idea of Street Fighter
Uh-oh.
6, Phil.
Oh
It's
man,
bigger than Street Fighter 6. The
It's
idea
so
was just
ridiculous.
get together.
he's
Oh my
hand
goodness.
he's hand palming
All right.
or face palming, but he's just doing the fingertips. It's really strange behavior. I don't know. It's face tipping, I guess.
Street Fighter 6. The idea was just get together.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Like,
Well, here's the thing. You just apologized to me because I was hurt. I want you to apologize to me because you did it, because you know it was wrong.
Uh-oh.
I don't
That
think it was
apology
wrong,
wasn't good
because
enough.
like I said, you yesterday, as you said yesterday, you lied to us. You lied to us. We felt that lie. We knew it was a lie. Look, was it reactionary? 100%. I'll say yes. It was wrong in that it was reactionary with the monetize the hate stream, right? That was a reactionary thing. Am I proud of it? No, right? And you know what, Phil? I'm going to do you one better. Give me a charity of your choice. Give me a charity of your choice. I will donate that day on that stream. We made $633.08. I will donate $633.
He doesn't know a charity.
To a charity of your choice.
Craig,
That
if you
will-
Craig,
that
if
will
you
help close the book.
if you actually cared about anything that you're saying right now, you already would have donated that money. So you can do with it however
Why would he care, Phil? He has no reason to fucking care.
you want.
He's doing this as a favor to you. He could have wrote "fuck you" in the email when you invited him on the show,
But
which he should have.
the fact
honestly.
is, you have done absolutely nothing in this
That's the worst thing Craig ever did, was try to treat you like a fucking human.
appearance to show any kind of responsibility or remorse for the things that you did regarding me, my community, or my reputation after the interview. And you've publicly admitted you didn't check the avenue that you could have gotten actual evidence of what I was going to tell you about the truth. So
I did not check the email.
So I don't really know I can help you anymore at this point. You know, it's like I've been saying to everyone recently.
Phil
What's
can't
happened in
help
the
you
last month
anymore.
and a half is pretty remarkable. All right.
Oh, it's
Basically,
remarkable.
everyone for the last like 10 years who really like to me and hated on me,
They're all
it's
felt
kind
it.
of all coming back.
Uh-oh. Karma's
you
a bitch.
Now, in your case, you're definitely not egregious. Okay, I want you to understand something. After today, I have no grudge against you whatsoever. All right, I'm gonna act like none of this ever happened. Really, I mean it too. I'm gonna act like none of this ever happened.
No, it's a
We're
nice
just gonna
guy like
move
that.
on with our life. You're going in one direction. I'm going in another direction. All right.
Phil let
But
bygones
you have to
be
understand
bygones.
that, like, when you have a platform,
He's a
you have a
forgiving king.
responsibility to be responsible with that platform. If you were gonna have
Oh yeah, this is rich coming from you, Phil.
the big definitive darksydephil interview, and even if you thought I had lied the entire interview,
Not thought, factually did.
which I did about WWE champions, that's
There's a lot of other shit too.
what I lied about. Okay, you still have a responsibility after the fact to follow up. That's what you didn't do. You actually didn't do the most important part. What you did was the equivalent of if, let's say,
The most important part being help Phil look better, I guess, or disprove something that was true.
Barbara Walters was going to interview a big prominent
yeah,
person.
Barbara-
We're gonna make
Barbara
this
Walters.
Up. Barbara Walters was interviewing Donald Trump, okay? And she does an interview with Donald Trump, and she hits him with all the hard-hitting questions, and he answers with bluster and everything. And a lot of people don't believe Donald Trump or whatever. The next day, she goes on a public appearance where she literally says, I don't believe a word Donald Trump said. He's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. I don't like his hair. I don't like this. And then
Did Donald Trump jerk off on stream?
as she was
I'm sorry, that was unfair. Did Donald Trump admit to lying
doing it, all the
a
sponsors
year later?
of Democratic causes are sending
And for lying for 7 years?
money to the show because, oh, this is great. She's ragging on Donald Trump, who we don't like. That's literally what you did. That's not integrity. That's bullying for profit. All right.
Bullying for profit.
Right.
Chill.
And the fact that you can't admit that you did this, you say you're sorry it hurt me, but you're not sorry you did it. That just it speaks to your character.
Oh,
I didn't have to do anything. You
That's where
literally
I
just
got
did it
him.
to yourself on
That's
the show.
where I got him.
And that's the thing. I didn't have to monetize hate against you at all. You
Until
did
you
it to
seen
yourself.
Craig's
And I'm not going to
attitude
monetize hate
changed.
against you ever.
Craig's attitude changed there. Just take it, Craig.
Part. What you did was the equivalent of if, let's say, Barbara
Ah,
Walters
too
was going
far.
to interview
Not listen to Barbara again.
at the show, because oh, this really, that's bullying for profit. All right.
Chill.
And the fact that you can't admit that you did this, you say you're sorry it hurt me, but you're not sorry you did it. That just it speaks to your character. I didn't have to do anything. You literally just did it to yourself on the show.
Felted.
And that's the thing. I didn't have to monetize
You
it
felt
against
it,
you
Craig.
at all.
Go home.
You did it to yourself. And I'm not going to monetize
You
it
did
against
it.
you.
You self-exposed
it's not gonna
yourself,
happen.
Craig.
There's not going to be a decompression stream after this where we shit on you at all. Because I don't have anything else to say once you're off this show. It's done. You did it. You did it yourself, my friend.
Just to be clear, so when Barbara Walters, who is dead, interviews Donald Trump, I think she's
Yeah, she's dead.
She passed away. Rest in peace. She was a great interview.
So
What's that got to do with anything,
she has
Craig?
this interview with Donald Trump. Is she not allowed to talk about it afterwards?
Oh, she could talk about it, but she's not. Oh, she's not allowed to monetize hatred toward the person she just interviewed. And here's why.
Why?
Here's why. No. Let me clarify why. Because if you're the interviewer, you're supposed to be fair and impartial, correct? During the interview. During the interview.
Not?
You were during the interview.
Okay.
But then, if that interviewer immediately discredits the person they just interviewed, there's not one fucking person who's going to go back and watch the interview with a fair take and a subjective glance at it and say, okay, so I will judge for myself if he told the truth. Okay? No one who watched the interview gave me that shot because you literally
Nobody watched that interview believed that you told the truth.
after the interview said, he's a bold-faced piece of shit liar. Let's laugh at him with his detractors. Ha 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 ha. Ack, 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 ack. Okay? So your interview originally was meant to be fair and balanced, and it became a hit piece because of what you did after. And I don't think you've ever really consciously known that, but it is. It's a giant hit piece against me, and it
Now, he didn't consciously know that, but you said that he did it, and he did it deliberately.
always will be.
Phil, you did it to yourself, man. You had an opportunity with all this. If it's a hit piece, it's your words.
Phil, you
Your
self-felted
words.
I
yourself.
was going to send you everything you
had a
asked
chance to
for.
talk.
There we go. I was going to send you everything you asked for. I told you to buy me the figure.
You did it
Same
to
energy.
yourself, man. You had an opportunity with all this. If it's a hit piece, it's your words. Your words. that
I
you
was
said-
going to send you everything you
had a
asked
chance to
for.
talk. You had a chance to talk.
Okay, go
now.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, all
All
right.
right.
Nice guy. Let Craig
You
get his
said,
hits in.
with your own words, you thought it was a very fair interview, right?
Yes.
If people look back on that interview, right, and they are upset about the interview, it's because of the response that you gave. Nobody's going back and watching the monetize the hate stream, or no one's going back and watching the decompression stream. What they're watching is the DSP interview. And if they're upset about something that happened,
The
or if they go,
definitive DSP
if they think
interview.
a certain way about you or me or Adam because of that stream, it's based off of the conversation that we had then, and not based around anything that happened afterwards, right? That's the main point of contact that people are watching. So look, you can try to put the noose around my neck all you want, right? And that's fine. Go ahead. If that's what makes you feel better, that's fine. But ultimately, Phil, it's your words. It was your lies that you told that led to the ultimate distrust with this stuff, Phil. And look, I'm sorry, man.
This is a bad
I
cope,
hope that
bro.
you can move past this. I hope that we have an opportunity to work together again in the future. I do. I genuinely do.
But-
Because I do think at your core, I do think that you are a good guy who just wants to play games and make positive content, right? And you know what? I
Sure.
think that's extremely admirable.
Wants to make a lot of money.
But you can't be upset when we talk about something and somebody super chats about it, right? I'm sorry that happened. And I'm sorry that your detractors gave us money.
Quit apologizing, Craig.
But you know what? It's going to happen again. It happened today. Somebody super chatted $2, saying, hey, did you hear about this? Should I give that $1.40 back? Right? Like, I don't know how to handle that, Phil. And I'm not going to apologize for people who gave us money because they felt we either did a good job or we felt like we missed something, or did you hear about this? I'm not going to apologize for that. I told you I will gladly give that money to a charity, right? And I'll give it to a charity in your name, right?
Great.
But if you don't want that, that's fine.
No, just give it to Phil.
That's totally okay.
I'm speechless. You actually think that giving that money to a charity a year and a half later is going to somehow make you look good or something? Like, what are you talking about?
No. I hope that I could care less.
Nothing you do here will make you look good, Craig.
What I care about is helping you.
You will
move
grovel
on,
at the
because
feet of the
you
king.
clearly are clinging on to this, right?
Nothing
And like I said,
more.
I'm sorry that this happened, right? But I'm not sorry for the words that you said, right? Once again, if somebody has the feels a certain way about you, it's based off your actions, right? I'm live 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. People see me, they know me by now, right? I've been doing this for almost 20 years. So people have a pretty good idea of me and my character. And for you to attack my character, I mean this with all due respect, Phil. Go fuck yourself. Because you don't know. I've gone out of my way, Phil, to treat you with respect via email the entire time. I've gone out of my way to treat you with respect and be courteous to you continuously. And I'm sorry that you're upset that I didn't know the idea of me and my character. And for you to attack my character, I mean this with all due respect, Phil. Go fuck yourself. Because you don't know. I've gone out of my way, Phil, to treat you with respect via email the entire time. I've gone out of my way to treat you with respect and be courteous to you continuously. And I'm sorry that you're upset that I didn't check my email for 23 hours. I'm sorry.
There he is.
Like, and I'm sorry that I was pissed that you were talking shit about me.
Self-exposed himself.
But I hope we can move past this. I really do. And I hope that this helps you turn the page. Will it do it? Probably not. But one thing that I do really hope is I hope that people don't send you super chats in regards to me. But no, I hope people send you lots of money in regards to me. I hope I'll be the first one.
Oh, don't wish that on him.
Talking about myself. And I'll send you a super
Craig's
chat.
Craig's gonna super chat him right now.
I don't want you to send me any super chat.
You're a bum.
I want to.
Well, I can't stop you if you really have to do it.
It's all about money. Oh, if you really have to give me money, I'll take it.
I don't want anything from you. Really, at this point. Like, you literally, in a situation here where we were being completely cordial, you just told me to go fuck myself publicly on the stream. You realize that, right?
Why?
I didn't do it. You did.
Why? Because you
did it to yourself,
No,
Craig.
not why. You did it. We were being cordial. I just had an entire show with Keem last week.
We were being cordial. I was trying to underhandedly insult your character. What are you doing telling me to go fuck myself right out in the open?
More Keem than I have with you. And that
this is supposed to be passive aggressive.
Keem's character.
Oh yeah, of course I did. And he went back at me, and we went back and forth, and we hashed it out. Yeah.
Listen, then Keem should have told you to go fuck yourself.
Oh.
All right, so there you go, folks. There you have it.
There you have it.
Night and day. I mean, you can't. That's all. I mean really.
He's
honestly,
exposed.
But we got actually. We're. I'm sorry. I have to. I'll apologize for two things. I'll apologize, number one, that I did
some
lie
sort
to
of
you
fucking
during
L to tell
the
darksydephil to go fuck himself.
That was wrong.
To everything we're talking about.
That was wrong. And number two, I apologize to the public that I lied for so many years, but I already did that last night on my own show, so they already know about that. All right.
Okay.
And I'll apologize to you now because we're taking too much of your time, and I know you got to get going. All right.
So let me close with this.
You close, and then I'll close, and we'll be good. Okay. You close first.
I want you to really think about your actions here, right? Think about this logically. Please do. Why would we piss the next day?
Think about your actions. From the guy who said, it doesn't matter if it's honesty or not, it's still an answer. Like, that says everything you ever needed to know about Phil Burnell. When he said that it was just one for the ages.
I'm asking
I'll never forget that fucking line.
Oh, you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like you wanted me to come clean on your show and get a really great piece of content out of it.
Weren't you on the show to
be the definitive time when DSP admits to everything that everyone's been saying that he's been doing for so long. And when I didn't do that...
Yeah, so why the fuck did you go on there and lie the entire time?
You basically had a nothing burger of an interview. 5 hours of a nothing burger of an interview. But it was good for my detractors. They wanted to crap on me, so it was a good piece for them. But you didn't have anything for anyone else. So it didn't give you what you were looking for in the product. That was
good for the detractors right now.
You were going to get the big confession. That's why you kept putting me on the spot about send me the screenshot, when we had never discussed that before the interview. You didn't get it. So you got upset about it.
That still doesn't explain why you were there lying your ass off.
And that's why you didn't check your email, because you couldn't get the moment anymore in the interview. You thought you had wasted 5 hours of your time, and what you said was, well, now I'm going to get him back for that tomorrow. I'll make that money in this nice destruction show that we'll do on Friday.
Did he say that?
That's actually what happened.
You're wrong about all that.
Okay,
right?
Fair enough. But you asked me for my opinion, so there you go.
Sure. And that also tells me where your head's at. We were mad because we were lied to. Had you not lied, none of this would have happened. If you were just clear and honest with us.
Craig, he doesn't care that he lied.
Like you were yesterday. Everything, none of this would have happened. We could have moved on. It would have been like, yeah, did we think it was full of shit?
This is just getting ridiculous. So now trying to convince
Friday
him
stream of
that they should be getting along.
Probably not. right? Would the monetize the hater stream have happened? Probably not, because
Craig, you're
if
exposed.
you just were honest from the
Go
start,
home.
none of this would have happened. So you can point the finger at me all day long, but at the end of the day, Phil, what's the old saying? You still got 3 more pointing back, right? Back at you. So look, I'll take my responsibility. I hope you look within yourself and you take some responsibility in this as well, right? And that's fine. I do hope that we can eventually work together in the future in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you come on Side Scrollers and we do a regular show. If you don't want to deal with a politics-driven show that isn't whatever you said, right?
Right.
You were extremely nice with your words, and by nice I'm being sarcastic right now. And when you told us to go fuck ourselves and all that stuff, so I would like to give you a fair shake someday on Side Scrollers if you're open to it. Like I said, I want to make sure that you and everybody else knows that I am open to working
Craig,
with
he
you
said
in some
that
way, shape,
behind
or
your
form.
back.
But I hope more than anything, I hope you're
Just
honest.
that. I
not
can't
just
believe you
with your
said it to
audience,
his
but with
face.
yourself
That was
about
full
the
mask
situation.
off.
I appreciate your
Supposed
time
to say
today,
shit
Phil.
behind
I
your
got some
back.
bad dude as I got to get done.
But
Thank
isn't
you
that
guys
why
very
he's so upset? Is that you said stuff about him behind his back? I don't know.
much for your time.
All right.
I don't
now,
think you
hold
were
on.
winning this
Before
one,
you
Craig.
go, let me say my piece too. All right.
Sure.
It'll be quick. I promise.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the end. There's no more feud between you and me. Do you agree? That's it. We're done. We can stop going at each other's throats.
Phil, I haven't had a feud with you for 18 months, man.
That's fine.
Let
Okay,
Phil get
whatever
the
you
last
say,
word,
monetize
dickhead.
the haters, but you don't have a feud with me. You want me to play Street Fighter with you. You don't have a feud with me. You want me back as a guest on your anniversary show.
You want me for
because you know
this.
it's going to bring
You
you
want
hype
me
and
for
attention from
that.
my detractors, but you don't
Past
have a
it,
feud
Phil.
with me. Okay? But okay,
You wanna
fair
benefit
enough.
from
You
my
don't have a
clout
feud, but
again.
We're agreeing to this now. It's over, right? We're done.
Yeah.
We're good.
It's over. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you were asking
One
me
more time.
now, a year and a half
Yeah,
later,
one more time.
will I be a guest on your show? Which was what
No, I'm
originally was agreed to. Correct? Like, that's what you're saying.
Correct.
It was originally, that was the agreement. We were going to do the interview. And then after that, I
Yeah,
was going to
whatever,
have the
Phil.
opportunity to be a regular guest on your show like everyone else had been. Correct?
Right.
That was the agreement.
And after the interview, I sent you that email saying like we were just disappointed, right? And the offer wasn't there anymore after the interview because we felt lied to.
Okay. So
But
now,
with that said, I hope we can move past it.
that's what I'm saying. Now that we've hashed it all out, right? We're all good. You're saying you're extending that olive branch and you're saying that
Yeah,
opportunity
Phil.
is there again, possibly. Not a lock-in, but it's possible that I could be on your show.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not interested. Go fuck yourself. Okay. All right, guys. So that
There it
is
was. Yeah.
the appearance of Stuttering Craig
He
on
exposed
the Level
himself.
1 podcast. I hope that
He's
you all
done.
enjoyed it very, very much. It was a good one, right?
Oh yeah.
hope that,
It was great.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut the stream down, and I'm going to do a decompression stream.
Yeah. He's
Right
gonna
now.
talk shit about Craig.
But I need
or
to
he's
shut
gonna
everything down
pretend not
because
to
I
talk
can't
shit
appear on
about Craig.
camera right
He's
now
just gonna
because my
read
camera
the super
cannot
chats
work
that he wants to, and other ones he's
in
gonna
this
say,
video
I'm not
and on
reading
the,
that,
on the
but he's gonna
stream,
take the
as
money.
well as in OBS, like Discord had an issue there. So all I have to do, I have to shut everything down. So I'm going to end the video here. Those who watched the interview, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to be right back live on the stream. Okay? So let's do that. I'll literally be right back live on the stream with the decompression. All right? I'll be right back, everybody.
All right.
I got the drip, go. I got the drip.
There we go.
I got the drip, go. I got the drip, go. I got the drip, go. I got
One
the
of Phil,
drip,
Darksydephil's finest
I got
moments.
the drip,
It's like a
go.
faucet.
Once again,
Can't make
big
it
up
stop.
Snort Hogan.
So what do you want me to do? Have a
The
mute
day
button that every
Stuttering
second
Craig
I'm tapping the mute button
self-exposed
just in case
himself.
I'm gonna have to clear. Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's
Truly
dumb kids.
a day in history. It's amazing. Such an amazing day. Well, thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Remember, go